This is your 60-second countdown.
Just swept away. Yeah! Got it straight through.
And that is beautifully done.
Very good off the bat.
Cut away. Oh my goodness!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's game time.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to EdgBLASTon for this Women's Vitality Blast fixture between the Bears and the Hampshire Hawks. It's a clash that involves two of the teams currently situated in the top four of the table, the Bears in third place and the Hawks in fourth. So eagerly anticipated and a big game that will go towards deciding the three teams who qualify, of course, for finals day that takes place at the Kia Oval in July. It's a beautiful day at EdgBLASTon. There is blue skies. There is a few white scudding clouds. The temperature is starting to rise and we are promised a fantastic game of cricket this afternoon. Just the one for you today. No double header today. Of course, the men were in action last night in that last ball defeat against the Notts Outlaws. But it's the turn of the women to entertain us here today. And alongside me, as ever, for our Bears Women Games, of course, is Chloe Brewer. First of all, you've been on the bike today. So the start of your rehab, of course, following your operation after your hamstring injury. How was it being on the bike today? Just getting some activity going again.
Yeah, it was incredible, to be fair. I was so excited to just get my legs moving. Had my bike station set up, windows open, looking over the ground. So there's worse places to bike.
So the process has started.
Process is well on its way.
That's what you want. And obviously you've been in the dressing room today, so a bit of insight into how the team are all ready to go. They had a fantastic win, of course, in midweek. So very positive. The group, obviously, we know that Emma has been selected to play for the England T20 side, so she's not available today, but Izzy Wong, who's also been selected, still is. But as a group, that win must have given them some real confidence again.
Yeah, absolutely. The girls did really well up in Durham, and they'll definitely take some confidence into today. As you said, it's a big game today for battling it out third and fourth place, so it's who will get into that top three in a few weeks' time.
And the Hawks obviously had a really good win last time out as well, picked up a bonus point in their victory over Essex. We obviously saw the first century as well of the tournament. We'll come on to the full team news in a moment. But the good news for the Bears is that Ella McLaughlin is not involved today. She hit 106 from 60 balls against Essex, but she picked up a knock, so she's not available for the Hawks today.
Yeah, that's good news for the Bears, is the fact that the girl who is in top form at the moment isn't available for this game, so I hope she gets better soon, but that's good news for the Bears.
Averaging 81 at the moment, so it's been a very impressive start to the campaign for her and to the Hawks, as we mentioned, who sit fourth in the table. The wicket we're going to be using today is a brand new one. It wasn't the one that was used yesterday. So again, what we know from the toss is that the Bears have lost the toss but are batting first. What's your feeling on that? Because you and I had a conversation earlier and I said I thought that maybe they would bat first anyway, because it allows Laura Harris to come out and play with a certain amount of freedom when not chasing runs, and as well, obviously, she's been our big hitter so far. Do you think they would have batted anyway, or what's the word inside the camp?
Yeah, I actually didn't have too many conversations about this morning, but I don't think it really affects it. There's not much rain around, there's not too much humidity in the air. It's quite a nice, hot day, so I think it'll be off to a flyer, really, batting first. Well,
we shall see. We will go through the two teams for you now, because there is a change as well amongst the Bears side, of course, with Em Arlott going off to play for England, or resting up in advance of that. So let's run you through the 11. Of course, Meg Austin made her debut against Durham, scoring 22 runs. She is coming in to open up with Davina Perrin at the top of the order, who's been in fantastic form. Of course, averaging 37 so far this season in the Blast. Izzy Wong slated to come in at 3 on the card. She has been selected for that England T20 squad as well, but she's available to play today. Stair Callis on loan from Yorkshire and performing incredibly well so far this season. Laura Harris, well, what can you say? 8 sixes so far in the campaign, 77 against Durham previously here as well. Good form from Nat Rafe. She's slated to come in at 7. She scored an unbeaten 58 as her highest score in this competition. Caris Paverley has been delivering with both the bat and the ball so far this season. Millie Taylor will go toe-to-toe against her sister today, who's in the Hawks lineup. If you can spot the difference, you're doing a very good job. The captain, Georgie Davis, who's been in terrific form with the ball as well. And Hannah Baker, who took a couple of wickets in that victory against Essex the other night with her leg spin. And of course, Phoebe Graham has joined on loan from Lancashire to cover what's going to be the period that Em's away, and also Izzy may be away with England as well. And what can you tell us about Phoebe Graham then? On loan from Lancashire, she's a seamer, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. Phoebe's has got a wealth of experience, which would be really good. Facing her in the last few years, she's a very good seamer, if I'm perfectly honest. So she's a great addition into the team to have up front.
And this loan system's working quite well, isn't it? Because when you get a moment where you're about to lose 2 seamers, and obviously you and I were talking, obviously you're not available. There are issues in the seam bowling department. They're coming into the game with just the 2. So to lose Em and Izzy going forward means there is a gap to fill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Phoebe will come in and fill that gap at the moment. But his loaning system's working really well, shifting between tiers, which has been pretty good and probably how the ECB wanted it to go. So
yeah, no, incredibly well. Let's have a look at the opposition as well then, and we can see the 2 teams that are going to play out for us here today in about the next 10 minutes or so when we get underway. Some familiar names in that Hawks lineup, particularly at the top of the order, of course. Classy international Boucher is going to open the batting today. Charlie Knott, the Australian, she's been in good form. She was one of those who was involved in that mega partnership that the Hawks had in their victory over Essex. Freya Kemp obviously has played for England. Georgia Adams is the captain. She took 4 wickets the other night as well. Rihanna Southby will be keeping wicket today. And as we mentioned, Millie Taylor there toe-to-toe with Mary Taylor, her sister. Freya Davis, another one, of course, who's played for England. And Bex Tyson is one I was going to ask you about, Chloe, at the bottom there, wearing number 35. So she was a net bowler in the 100 last year and got picked up from that, didn't she?
yeah, absolutely. Well, she clearly impressed quite a lot of her net bowling. She's a left-arm spinner, so she must have spun herself a little contract there. So
both teams with plenty of spin options as well.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's going to be quite key today, isn't it? How you kind of hold things down in those middle overs.
Yeah, I think it'll be really important. The boundary's quite big today, especially square of a wicket. Straight's a little bit shorter. So I think spin bowling could be really effective, especially towards the back, take pace off and kind of let a batter do all the hard work.
A big week coming up for the Bears this week in terms of fixtures. Essex here on Wednesday, of course, in an 11:30 start. We'll have the stream for you on that one on Wednesday morning as well. Lots of school kids in for that one, so it should be a really good atmosphere as well. And then on Friday, our double header, which kind of rounds things up for this first portion of Blast cricket, doesn't it? Where the Bears will be taking on Blaze in the afternoon, and obviously later in the evening we'll have the Bears against the Pears. So it's a huge day of cricket coming up, but these 3 games could be really pivotal in terms of where the Bears women finish in the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I could imagine the girls want to leave themselves in the best position possible for that kind of last bit after this period to try and get into that final 3.
And it's a tough ask, isn't it? 3 to come out of the group of 8. Obviously, the final, when it takes place on the 27th, the team that finish first, they go straight into the final. The teams that finish second and third will play off on finals day to get a spot. So there is that reward for finishing top. And as things stand in the table at this moment in time, it's the Blaze that head the way, unbeaten so far. Of course, you'd probably say their only blemish was the tie against the Bears at Trent Bridge in the opening campaign. Opening game of the campaign, of course. I'm just looking in the distance because we can see the flag bearers are out today. With it being Father's Day, it's the fathers of the players, I understand, who are some of the flag bearers today.
Yeah, it's a really nice touch, actually, that all the fathers of the players get to go out and get their daughters onto a pitch. So
It's quite a nice moment, isn't it? Plenty of pride as well will be shown at the far end. It is a beautiful day. As I say, it is Father's Day, so to have their dads here, some of them flag waving as well, is an incredibly nice touch on a day like today. So in terms of totals, what we've seen, obviously, Statman Aaron is not with us today. What we've seen in terms of totals so far this season, I mean, we've seen some good numbers being put on by the Bears here on a good wicket. Again, they'll be looking to post something in the 180 region, won't they, today?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Aaron said a few weeks ago that average score was 144, and every time we've come here, it's been 160 to 180 kind of range. And that's been kind of a benchmark so far at EdgBLASTon this season. Could be due to such dry weather early on. We've had such good wickets. I'm sure it'll be another belter today. As
I said, we're not playing on the same wicket we played on yesterday. We saw 800 runs scored on that wicket yesterday. It was fantastic. And I expect we'll see more of the same today. Gary Barwan and his team doing a terrific job. This wicket is the one that will be used again for the game on Wednesday versus Essex as well. Carmen's getting into things. I just bumped into Carmen and Hugh by the lift, as I always tend to for some reason. Not as blustery today as well as it has been in recent weeks here at EdgBLASTon, but we are set for what should be a fantastic day's cricket. And in terms of in charge today will be Neil Bainton and Jasmine Naeem. There are two match officials when things get underway, and we could already see that Meg Austin and Davina Perrin are ready to go at the far end, just beneath those lovely new dressing rooms that are in use, of course, this season for the women's teams as well. And the Hawks all prepared to go, having a kind of very informal huddle, as you can imagine at this moment in time. And you can see some of the crowd already appearing here on what will be a beautiful afternoon for cricket. And it was a beautiful day yesterday in terms of weather-wise, and the crowd that came in for Midlands Mania and enjoyed a bit of Joel Corrie, who was very good. Your place was vibrating, but it was excellent entertainment as well. Just curious, obviously last time we were with you, the night before, you'd been hanging out with Wongi, watching some terrible programmes on Netflix. Was it with Wongi last night, hanging out watching programmes, or was it a relaxed Saturday?
No, I was chilled out at home. Monopoly deal and chilling.
Monopoly
deal.
What's that? I don't know this game.
It's like a card game of Monopoly. And
Oh, right, okay.
it's hostile environment in the house last night.
You know how to live on a Saturday night, you cricketers,
Wild.
don't you? It's full on and wild. There's no doubt about that. And it's quite interesting here when you are just trying to work your way around making their way to the dugouts, which are down beneath us here, all the way from the dressing rooms. So it's everyone's dragging their batting gear and various things to come and get themselves down to the benches down below us here. And we are almost ready to go. The countdown is on, about 30 seconds or so before we'll see the arrival of our two umpires. It's a bit disappointing not to see Emily Arlott today. She's obviously performed really well for England since she got her first call up. And I was looking forward to seeing her in a Bears shirt again, because not only obviously the quality of her seam bowling, but again it's just a bit more strength in depth with the bat, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. She's really stepped into that all-rounder role this year. She scored about 130, I believe, against Essex earlier in the One Day Cup. So she's done incredibly well. And at Durham the other day, she bowled again. Pretty special.
Yeah, she's got her rewards for England, that's for sure. And here we go.
To all of you in the crowd, but we also would like for a big round of applause for our guard of honour today, which is our players' dads.
Yeah, and there they are, the guard of honour being offered by the players' dads. A lovely round of applause around EdgBLASTon for them as they wave the flags for Simpson. Not quite in time, they're not all quite in time, but it's not a bad effort really, is it?
It's a pretty strong effort. I reckon those flags are quite heavy, you know, the big ones.
Yeah, I think they are. Umpire Bainton and Naeem are on their way to the middle from down beneath us here. So an opportunity then to get this game underway in glorious cricketing conditions. It kind of almost makes us feel a bit jealous to be stuck inside this air-conditioned studio, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely get some sun cream on if you're in the crowd, especially in the Wyatt stand. It's a sun trap over there.
Yeah, it certainly looks it. There's quite a few who've decided that that's the place to bathe today. as the Hawks enter the field of play. And here come the two openers for the Bears today. Meg Austin with 16 on her back, and Dav Perrin with 8 as ever. And I was saying to Chloe earlier, I think Dav is very quickly becoming my favourite cricketer just because of her sheer enthusiasm alongside that level of ability that she's got.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just that young gun, isn't she? She's only 18 still, and well, she's opened the baton and do a very good job of it.
Yeah, she scored 49 the other night, which probably comes as no great surprise in the game against Durham. The victory, long old journey up north, but it was well worthwhile to come back with the 4 points. It looks like Daisy Gibb is going to be opening the bowling from this pavilion end. Of course, the Hawks missing Lauren Bell, of course, who's again resting after England duty. She'll be back in action in those international T20 as well. So the England players being pulled out of squads across the Vitality Blast in preparation for that. Of course, we didn't see Sophie Eccleston playing last time out for Lancashire here, but she's back in that T20 squad. So it's going to be, I think, Meg Austin who's going to face the first ball, and it will be Gibb who will get us going from this pavilion end. And Gibb with the flowing ponytail it will be. And Austin is on strike, and we are ready to go. Crucial game between these two then. 3rd versus 4th in the table. Nice bit of shape to start with as well there from Daisy Gibb. And that was out the middle of the bat as well, I think, from Meg Austin too.
Yeah, so she's hit that hard straight to extra cover there. He's just kind of tucked in a little bit, quite close to the bat.
The two fielders that are out, both on the leg side, fine leg and a deep square leg boundary rider as things stand. There is a ring of 5 on the offside, all inside the 30-yard circle. Again, nice bit of shape from Gibb, but it's cut away nicely. And the first runs are on the board. And they go the way, this time, of Meg Austin. Confident debut against Durham, scored 22. She's off and running already.
Yep, she's away. That'll be a big relief as a batter. Those just first runs on the board. But she's found a gap there, and yeah, she's well on our way.
Given her opportunity, just shaking things up a bit, obviously. We saw in the first few games, Abby Freeborn was opening the batting with Dav Perrin. But now the turn of Meg Austin. Again, nice shape in from Daisy Gibb. No run. Score remains on 4. And she's found a good line and length straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. That line's pretty crucial with getting that in swing back in. She's bowling pretty well to her field there, and I'm sure she'll just try and keep it on that line.
A really nice bit of movement for Daisy Gibb to open up here. Not too long a run, just from the edge of the 30-yard circle. Again, more shape, but well read and well timed once more by Austin. And it's away to the point boundary for 4 more.
Yeah, 2 boundaries in the first over. That's not bad going, is it? That's just slightly wider there, and Meg's just gone and really flashed hard of that, and she's reaped the reward.
Yeah, it's a really nice shot, and it turns into a really good over already at this moment in time for the Bears. Just those couple of boundaries already, but it does work quite nicely in their favour for sure. 2 balls to go in the first over then.
Yeah, those last 2 balls just not shaping as much as the first couple were. Because at the start of the over, she kind of shaped it in quite late as well, and those last 2 haven't shaped it as much. So Meg's doing her job, just taking the old shine off the ball.
Yeah, both with 3 wins to their name so far in this competition, of course. Leading wicket taker actually for the Hawks is Bex Tyson, 8 wickets in the competition so far, same amount that Izzy Wong's taken actually. Both having good starts to the campaign. Well, that's going to be okay because it was inside those tram lines, and I think just for a moment Meg Austin deciding she'd have a little look just to say to the referee, are you sure? The umpire, are you sure? And I think Neil Bainton is perfectly happy with the fact that that was delivered slightly wider by Daisy Gibb. Good first over though, 8 without loss.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good start there. Good intent from Meg Austin to start us off, and hopefully that momentum will take us in and through the innings.
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually. Across their games, they've only taken 17 wickets in total, the Hawks, compared to the Bears, who've taken 43. So in terms of the amount of wickets they take in a game, obviously the surface can play a part. We didn't see too many wickets falling yesterday in both the games on really good surfaces. So it'll be intriguing to see how that works out today.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You're going to take Aaron's job soon.
Well, listen, I've had to work hard. I was on the text to him this morning, don't you worry. He's away in Yorkshire today, so I've said no more days off. There's too much hard work to be done. Dav Perrin's on strike, and it's going to be Freya Davis that will come into the attack from the City end with the second over of the game. Right out the middle of the bat from Perrin. It's one more to the total. Score moves on to 9. And it does bring Austin down on strike. The entirety of that first over. Perrin off the mark with the first ball that she's faced.
Yeah, that's good rotation start of the over.
Again, same area. She's scored all her runs in so far. I don't think she's going to get a third boundary this time because it's going to be fielded. It's a relay job between the three of them, but they will come back and get 3. And that's excellent running, which is no surprise with Perrin at the crease. We know she's eager when it comes to scampering between the stumps, and it's 3 more to the total.
Yeah, that was, well, good bit of cricket all round there. Very good off the boundary, sliding stop there, but really good running and great awareness.
Perrin, of course, the leading run scorer for the Bears so far in this competition. And then she's going to add 4 more to her total there. It was 225 coming into this game. And she's driven that beautifully. What a shot that is.
Yeah, that was an incredible shot. The balance, the timing, just everything. Straight back towards the side screens.
Just very effortless. It was all about the timing, and she's in a very rich vein of form right now, for sure. See the Hawks, as we mentioned earlier, in the build-up to play, missing their leading run scorer through injury today. Bit of a bonus for the Bears, that. I think Perrin was looking for the single, but Meg Austin sends her back.
Yeah, that's a good thing about these two, is they're so keen to get running. It's gone kind of straight to between Mary Taylor and Reece Southby there, and they were looking for it.
Bears on average scoring about 164 per innings so far in this Blast competition. Oh, that's better. And she beats her outside the off stump. Just aware there was a little bit of shape there for Freya Davis.
Yeah, she's a very experienced bowler, is Freya. She's been in and around the England South for quite a few years, and coming into domestic stuff, 100. She's obviously performed pretty much everywhere she's been.
Feels like it's the first ball that no one's got a bat on actually in this game so far.
Yeah, it's good awareness from Dav. You can see she's just out of her crease a little bit.
Again, well fielded off her bowling. And 8 off the over. So 2 overs gone then. And the Bears on to 16 without loss.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
I'll mention that Bex Tyson's the leading wicket taker for the Hampshire Hawks in this competition so far, and she's got the ball in hand from this pavilion end. And she will bowl the 3rd over of this Bears innings. and starts with a dot ball. Done very well to pick up a contract off doing a bit of net bowling in the 100.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been in and around the Hampshire stuff for quite a while.
It's a nice glance off the pads, and it's always going to be 1 to the total. Bringing Perrin back onto strike. But he started the campaign well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd say that left arm spin is pretty crucial towards it, because it just drifts and kind of follows you, so it cramps a lot of batters for room. And yeah, as you said, leading wicket taker for Hampshire.
8 so far, as we mentioned, in this campaign. Well, that's going to be a tight one, is it? That's good running, actually. Really good from Austin. I think the danger in that time may have been Perrin, but obviously the fielder was closest to the wicket-keeper. And these two have got a good understanding between the wickets.
Yeah, absolutely. They're pushing all the runs there, aren't they? It's kind of like a daylight robbery. It's gone straight to point and they ran. So, yeah, really good awareness to call Dav through.
Very sharp single. Just 2 off the over so far. Tyson will be happy with things at this moment in time. He just deceived Meg Austin a little in the flight there.
Yeah, it's just kind of following her a little bit. It was a good idea, though, because both her straights are up. She's just got a deep cover and a deep square, so that side screen boundary is pretty appealing.
Breeze is drifting across the ground, so it will help her in terms of drifting it into the pads of the right-handed Austin. It's a very tidy over this from Bex Tyson so far. She'll look to come out of it without conceding a boundary. But she's not going to, because that's a cracking shot from Meg Austin. Excellent use of the feet. And another boundary. And she moves on to 12. In fact, she moves on to 16. And the Bears are on to 22 without loss at the end of 3 overs.
Yeah, that was a great shot there. Just piercing the covers and, yeah, got the boundary for the over. And that's pretty important in setting totals, is trying to get at least 1 boundary and over.
Really nice shot from Austin. As we say, very good use of the feet on that occasion. Freya Davies is going to get another over from the city end. Perrin will be on strike on what's a rather warm lunchtime in the second city. As I say, lovely blue skies, plenty of sunshine. Perfect conditions this afternoon for a game of cricket. Second over the spell then for Freya Davies.
Yeah, she started off that first over really well, didn't she? Not too much. It was just, it wasn't a bad ball that went for a boundary, really. Dav just timed it really well down the ground.
Yeah, didn't quite get a line right on that occasion. Straying down the leg side and no hesitation in the umpire's arms, outstretching to add 1 more to the total, 23 without loss. Again, just angling into the pads of Perrin, and they've turned that into 2, and that's excellently run by Austin and Perrin. Really are lightning between those 2 sets of stumps, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really good awareness. To turn and go up the other end, Dav's just hit that backward of square, and square legs just in front, so we've really taken advantage of that extra few seconds.
Well, she'd come down to that and almost was at risk of being stumped, but
Yeah.
she'd advanced far enough. No contact this time. Good response from Davis.
Yeah, it's just a very good hard length outside off. Dav's just been caught fishing a little bit out there. Maybe there's just a little bit, yeah, looks like there's a little bit of movement on the ball.
We were asking you earlier who you, off air, who had the strongest arm. Who's the quickest? Is Dav the quickest? When you have a sprint, is Dav always kind of leading the pack away, is she? She's been beaten again outside the off stump, and no surprise that Rihanna Southby's had a little shy at the stumps as well, because she's certainly walking down the wicket here, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's just shuffled it out of her crease standing anyway to make it a little bit fuller. She's so good going over extra cover. We've seen in the last few games it's 6s and 4s over that region, so I'd say it's tempting out there for her for sure.
Freya Davis appears to be using the sweat off her belly button to shine the ball so far. That's a straighter ball on the stumps this time. It's worked off the legs by Perrin. This time it will just... Oh, no, they want the second. Austin made the call, and she's got there. And that was tight. It was Austin's decision to go for the second. I think Davina Perrin on this occasion was happy to settle for one, but Austin said, yes, let's go. And she got there by the skin of her teeth.
Yeah, I was holding my breath there, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, she made it in safely, so that was really good running.
Yeah, it's super. So is Austin kind of pretty quick as well, I'm seeing here. So it was me thinking Dav may be the super speedy one, but I think Austin's got a fair old rate of knots too. This time it will just be one. And the score moves on to 28 without loss. One ball remaining in the fourth over.
Yeah, Dav's definitely top of it, I reckon. It's Dav Pavs is rapid.
Yep. Pavs. So
Pavs.
we need to use full
Sorry,
names here.
Karis Bavely.
You would have, the viewers would have loved it earlier when we said, you know what the team is, and we got the team. But we had them in 3-letter abbreviations of every player, as opposed to their full names. It's very useful that you've all got kind of little cute 3-letter names for each other, but no use when you're putting a graphic together, to be fair. That's going to be one more to the total on the far side. Apart from when you took is. I know it's Wongy. You call her Wongy, don't you? Yeah, so... that's the end of the over. 4 overs gone. 29 without loss. Austin on 17 from 13. Perrin on a runner ball 11 as things stand. Of course, while you're watching the stream, feel free to load up the old Match Centre, the EdgBLASTon app. Get that downloaded. You get all your stats, your figures, your numbers, and everything you need to accompany our coverage. So get the app and visit our Match Centre for the continued numbers throughout this game. And thank you for joining us on the stream today. As I mentioned, we've got a stream for you on Wednesday as well for the game against Essex. That's underway at 11:30. So the stream will be on just after 11, about 10 past 11 on Wednesday for that other crucial game as well. Daisy Gibb back in for her second over of the game. That was reached for by Austin, and she's done exactly what she did to her 2 times previously, dispatched her to the backward point boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling her wagon wheel today is going to be pretty strong through that backward point region, and that's a really good shot. It's just a little bit of width to start the over, and Meg's just really climbed into that.
Yeah, she certainly has, and she's ticking over very nicely here onto 21. As I said, she scored 22 in her Blast debut against Durham in midweek. So she's already up to 21 today. Score on to 33. And funnily enough, Perrin being outscored by her opening partner, which is not something we've seen too often this season so far.
No, absolutely not. It's not something I think Dav might be quite happy just to take a back seat a little bit here and just let Meg really go. 21 off 15. So it's a pretty blistering start.
Yeah, a little nod of acknowledgement there, I think, from Dav Perrin to Meg Austin to say just keep doing what you're doing. 33 off the opening 26 balls. That's drilled down the ground. Done well to get something on that. It's not quite going to make it to the rope. They will turn for 2. Misfield almost brings the third in. Austin's looking for the third, but it will just be 2. And actually that's a fairly decent bit of fielding there by Freya Davis. I think she's felt that a little bit on her arm as well.
Absolutely. Meg has middled that so well down the ground. She did well to cut it off.
2 more to the total. 35 without loss. It's a great shot out to the covers. I think it'll be 1 because she's timed that right to the fielder. But she's on to 24. And her highest T20 score, of course, in the Blast, having scored 22 on debut.
Yeah, this is really great to see from Meg. And I think we're quite like this because these two actually grew up playing for Staffordshire together.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so they've known each other a very, very long time. So it's quite a sweet full circle moment.
They have an understanding. You can tell that in the running between the wicket again. Davos given that everything without making contact. She'll be starting to think she's got a hole in her bat because a few times now she's literally tried to launch it and failed to make contact.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if we see a bat going off towards extra cover too.
Last ball of the 5th over to come. 36 without loss. 7 off the over so far. Short ball, and that's given us a wide. One more to the total.
Yeah, I think that was just her plan to get out for over there as fine leg went back and square leg on the boundary, but change of plan. Go back to it.
Yeah, we were having this discussion last night when it came down to the final ball in the game between the men's game between the Bears and the Outlaws as to what did Ed, they needed one to win. What did he bowl? And I was saying, well, you bowl a short ball, surely. You bowl the short ball, but you've got to get it right because if you're wide, then it's game over, isn't it? So in the end, he went for the Yorker that didn't quite come off. One more to the total, and that completes the 5th over. 38 without loss. Really good start here for the Bears, particularly from Meg Austin, who's on her way with 24 from 17. Tell us something about Meg. Tell us something that nobody else would know about Meg that you can share with the audience today.
That's a great question. She always has, in the team chat, she always has Meg's joke time.
Oh, okay.
So she always tells a joke in
Good.
team time.
And are you able to tell them on a TV stream?
Well, I haven't heard them for a while.
Oh, okay.
However, they're normally pretty funny.
Okay.
And sometimes how she tells it is funnier than the joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's one of those.
But normally the joke is pretty funny.
Okay. We like that. She's a joker. We're going to see Charlie Knott, who's going to have a bowl from the far end. I think she's bowling in her cap, isn't she?
It's a very Aussie thing to do, isn't it?
Well, it is, but it just doesn't feel like cricket to me, bowling in your cap. I'm fine with your sunglasses, but your cap as well. But Knott's into the attack. Right arm spin, and Davos tried to reach for that, and she got bat on it, but it's 1 to the total. Score moves on to 39 without loss.
How do you feel about cap and sunglasses?
Bowling with cap and sunglasses?
sunglasses.
That's a bit. I just think bowling in a cap is unnecessary, really, but that's just me. Picked out the fielder on the edge of the circle there. Bit of frustration from Meg Austin. I think she felt that should have had some treatment, but cut it away, but straight to the fielder.
Yeah, I think she's just looking there to pierce out offside.
Needs to try and guide it beyond Tyson. Instead, she comes down the ground. That's a terrific shot. And I think she's got enough of it to get it over the ropes for 4. Another boundary for Austin, who is ticking over very nicely here. She moves on to 28. That's her 5th boundary of the innings so far, so she's not messing around.
Absolutely not. She's there for a fun time for sure. That was really smart cricket, actually. Both her straights are up, and you've got so much room in front of you. You've only got to get it 25 yards, and you're on your way to a boundary.
I've never really equated that to cricket. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. But Meg Austin has clearly decided that's the way today. Into the leg sides, just for 1. Even these 2 hairs between the wicket will not turn that into a 2. And it brings Perrin on to strike. 44 without loss. And we've already had 6 off the over so far. 2 balls to come.
Yeah, this is a great power play, isn't it? 44 with 2 balls to spare.
Yeah, well, this will teach Charlie Knott for bowling with a cap on, I say. A couple more boundaries.
Sure.
Lovely cutaway for 4. And Perrin finds the boundary. Moves on to 17. And the Bears on to 48.
Yeah, that was really great footwork there. She gave herself a little bit of room and got her hands through it.
Yeah, short and a little bit of room for Perrin to play with. She's always going to try and take advantage of that. And there she goes down the ground, and that's going to be a couple of bounces and 4 more. And it brings up the Bears 50 in this power play, and a 50 partnership between these two as well. 52 without loss. Perrin on to 21. Austin on 29.
52 for none, and that is the end.
And that's a really good power play for the Bears in the end, helped along by those couple of boundaries at the end of the over by Davina Perrin. And it means at the end of the power play, the first 6 overs, of course, the field relaxed at this point. And it's 52 without loss then for the Bears. And that is a really good power play for them, Chloe.
That's a great power play, blistering power play, I would argue. There's boundaries left, right and centre there, and the girls have gone really hard at the Hampshire Hawks.
Bex Tyson is back on from this pavilion end. Austin struck on the pad. There's half an appeal only from Tyson, nobody else. And they will get through, and it'll be 1 more to the total. And I didn't see any leg by signal there, so I'm assuming a bit of bat was involved.
Must have just clipped it a little bit. She's gone back to it. And they've ran up. It's actually ended up quite close. I was holding my breath.
Yeah, it's one for the batter. Definitely, I think, came off there. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Wonderful use of feet there by Perrin. Driven to the boundary ropes for 4. Excellent shot.
Yeah, these two are just accelerating, aren't they? 57 in the 6th over, and that's some really good batting.
Some very vocal youngsters in the crowd with You Bears Cry. That's just turned into the leg side. Perrin on to 26. And the score on to 58. Just starting to pick the pace up. 4 fours now for Davina Perrin. 5 already for Meg Austin in this innings. She's caught the outside edge of that. It's a really good ball that from Tyson. Probably didn't deserve to edge its way to the boundary ropes for 4, but it does. And Austin adds another boundary to her total. She moves on to 34. The Bears on to 62 without loss. That's quite unlucky though for Bex Tyson. It's a good ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter how they come sometimes, isn't it? It's just tickled off that outside edge and that's raced away. But yeah, it's definitely not a bad ball at all.
Daisy Gibb was giving chase, but not quite quick enough on this occasion. Bears going really nicely here. 62 without loss. It's a lovely shot. It's going to go into the gap, is it? No, it's brilliantly fielded, actually. Excellent bit of fielding on the boundary rope. Freya Kemp on this occasion, cutting that one off. Just 1 to the total. Austin on to 35.
Yeah, she should be able to cut that off. She's hit her hard.
Very hard. It's the sweep from Perrin. Just 1 bounce and then lost by Kemp. They'll come back for a second here. Good running again. And that completes the over. 7 gone. And the Bears move on to 65 without loss. Skippers on. Georgia Adams into the attack. She had a really good day against Essex last time out for the Hawks, taking 4 for 26. And she is into the attack. And immediately good use of the feet from Austin again. 1 more to the total.
Yeah, this is a good field here. So it's interesting. Georgia Adams has the highest percentage of balls bowled at the stump out of, I think, any bowler in the UK, I think.
It's a good start, you think? Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we'll take that.
I think.
And is this the kind of data that you get when you're kind of prepping for games and the kind of analysis you get nowadays?
Yeah, so our analyst will just do some work on, well, where does she bowl the ball mainly, and Georgia Adams is top of bowling at the stump, so that's representative in her field. As that she's got a square cow, long on, long off, and nobody out on the cover boundary because she bowls so straight and so consistently.
Captain of this Hawks side is Georgia Adams. Very experienced. Ball just being angled in towards Midland leg, you would say. So like you say, very straight, very much protected on the leg side, so probably quite happy to just let the singles go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's run a ball off his over so far, but I think the one thing she doesn't want from this over is for another boundary to go, because they've kind of blistered their way through the bowlers so far. A couple of boundaries coming from each over.
Yeah, 10 boundaries in total in the opening 7 overs we saw. This could be a boundary less over. Last ball to come, just 5 singles so far. Perrin won't want it to be. And I don't think she's going to try and allow it to be. Oh, that's a brilliant catch. And she's gone. That's a super catch taken by Charlie Knott. Really good diving effort out in the field. And it means Perrin's on her way. And I'm just wondering if Charlie Knott's done herself a little bit of damage here taking that catch. Just her right hand may be a problem. But it's a super catch. 30 Perrin's gone for off 21 balls. And the Bears lose their first wicket with a score on 70.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Fully outstretched dive. And I think Fizzy might just be coming around to make sure she's okay. But that was an incredible catch.
Well, we talked about dot balls off the over, but Davina Perrin was like, nope, we're not having that. And she's taken that catch, and yeah, it's her right wrist as she's landed. She's done well to keep hold of the ball, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because I think both wrists which she had round the ball have hit the turf quite hard, and it is quite a hard turf given the amount of rain we've not had so far during spring and this early part of summer. But Perrin's gone for 30 more to her total, of course. What's been a cracking start to the campaign, but not quite her fluent self today as we've seen in some of the other fixtures, but
No, 30 off 22 though, you're still not complaining as you're headed back, and actually you're just looking for a boundary to finish off the overs to make it still destructive. But she's been in such incredible form this season.
well, she has. Stair Callis is the new batter, and no surprise really that Georgia Adams does what she does. 1 for 5 from her first over. I said she was a dangerous individual. And here comes Mary Taylor. So tell me about the twins then. How good are they in terms of being identical, both Mary and Millie?
Well, if you can tell me them apart, I will be shocked.
That's fine. She's got 9 and Millie's wearing 11. I think that's probably the biggest clue for me.
Yeah, I remember playing county age group against them actually, and just not knowing what was coming.
Oh wow! No, there's a real similarity. Obviously, bit of seam up coming from Mary though. Good shot from Austin. Gonna make that into a 2. You feel with Callis here, and that's very well run and well fielded as well on the boundary edge.
Yeah.
Let's see who that is wearing the number 11. So that's one of the sub fielders, I think.
I think on boundary that would be Naima Jitani. But maybe she has got like a little jumper number on.
She has. I had her down as wearing 10, but maybe she's not wearing 10 today. Anyway, Mary Taylor in, and that's a lovely shot driven by Austin, and that's 4 more. Well, she's really taken the mantle on today, and with Perrin out, pressure now for Meg Austin to deliver. And she hits her 6th boundary and takes her 7th boundary and takes her score to 44.
Yeah, this is a great innings here, and I'm really, really happy for Meg here. Is that she's really taken this opportunity, having sat out a couple games first up, but yeah, starting Durham of 2022 and now going on.
Of course, drilled back at the fingers of Taylor, and I think again she's taken that on her ankle. And the physio immediately coming on. Umpire Bainton just saying you can come on and check. Certainly came off her fingertips, but
I reckon that's a little bit of ankle. She's up and walking about.
Yeah.
Just
I
don't.
mean, she's wincing as she's
Yeah.
walking, but
Yeah.
made of stern stuff, these cricketers, aren't they?
Hard as nails, I heard.
It's usually at this point that you feel it a little bit more, and I think Neil Bainton's just happy for her to be checked out and to take that moment. Just terrifically struck by Austin. Has so many balls have been so far in this innings.
Yeah, she's finding the middle pretty well this innings, and yeah, that's hurt a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it has. I think the ankle's moving okay, but as we all know, it's an half hurt when you get one on the ankle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not much protecting it. Is
No, not at all, and particularly when it's hit at the kind of velocity that Meg Austin's been hitting some of these shots today.
Yeah.
She did get a single there. She's moved on to 45. There's no mercy in this game, is there? She may be on the floor uncomfortable, but we're still having a single. She's got 45 from 29. The Bears on to 77 for 1. And I think Mary Taylor is all right to continue. Would have been worse if her sister had smashed it back at her, I suppose.
Battle of the Taylor twins.
Well, probably not the worst they'd done to each other. I'm sure when they were growing up there was a bit of hair pulling, biting and various other things from twin girls. Who knows? But yeah, she's feeling that a bit, for sure. I mean, it's a smile versus a grimace.
I think that's edging towards a grimace.
Yeah. It's just whether she can run up, really, I think is going to be the challenge here. She's a little more gingerly than she was previously.
Yeah, so a little bit of a ginger run, but
There's one more. So there's 2 balls to come in the over. Probably just try and at least see the over out. Already, I think, just trying to see if Charlie Knott is back out there. I think she is.
she's down at long on.
Ah, okay, that's good then. So she's okay after jarring her wrist in taking that catch that removed Davina Perrin. Austin back on strike then on 45. Oh, that's a poor ball. No, that's going to be 4 byes here, you think, or wides in the end, unless it's going to get picked up before the ropes, which it is. They will run 2, though, and it is wides. Score moves on to 81 for 1 in the 9th over. Current run rate's excellent, 9.35.
Yeah.
They really are ticking over brilliantly here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're doing a little bit more than ticking over.
Austin again with 1 more, on to 46. And it brings Stair Callis on strike. Another one of the great examples of that loan system that's currently in use.
Yeah, absolutely. She's come from Yorkshire, which is a tier 2 side, so she goes back occasionally. She's actually just come back from the Netherlands playing in a series out there.
Set off quickly for the first. Austin was thinking about the second, but they leave it at just the 1, and the score moves on to 83 for 1 after 9 overs. An expensive first over then from Mary Taylor, 13 from it and a bruised ankle to go with it. Thanks for joining us on the stream today. It would be fantastic if, while you're watching along, whether it's on maybe a mobile, a laptop, or a tablet of some description, or even your telly, which you can watch the YouTube on nowadays, please like the stream. It would be fantastic to get your like and your appreciation of what we're offering up here on Bears TV. So click on the like just the once, don't do it twice, because it comes off if you do it twice. And Adams is back into the attack from the City end. 83 for 1. Picking up the only wicket so far of Davina Perrin as we approach the halfway stage of this Bears innings. And that's a lovely shot from Stair Callis. Nice sweep for 4. Found her spot perfectly between the 2 fielders.
Yeah, that was a great shot. It's just kind of straight a little bit down the leg sideways, and she's helped it on its way. That's Freddie Kemp down at the square leg. It's pretty square, so that's just done well to go towards the dugouts.
There's no run there. Yeah, the short fine leg currently is Mary Taylor. Still nursing that bruised ankle, I'm sure. 87 for 1. First boundary of the innings for Callis. Down the ground for 1. 88 for 1. Brings Meg Austin on strike. 46 she's on now. Already these two have added 18 off 9 balls. So picking up where Perrin left off with Austin in that opening partnership, which was excellent. Offering up 70 runs for the first wicket today.
Yeah, we've created such a good platform. First up is to get into a big score. What's your score predictions?
It's a bit early to be going score predictions, isn't it? But
halfway stage.
Yeah, but
almost.
when you think you've got Laura Harris to come, and what looks another belting wicket to bat on, I mean, I'm not ruling out 200 here, to be honest with you. They're going to grab one here, and it was Datani who was doing the fielding. Austin on 47 then. 7 off the over from Georgia Adams so far. Last ball of it. And Austin will add one more to the total and keep the strike. So 10 overs gone. We're at the halfway point of the Bears innings. And they move on to 91 for 1. Austin on 48 from 32 balls. Callis is on 8 from 6. And the partnership between these two ticking around at 21 right now. So in terms of the halfway stage, yeah, I'm feeling confident we may see something pushing kind of 194, maybe somewhere near the 200 mark. It all depends on what Laura Harris comes out and does, obviously. What about you?
Okay, well, what are you going with?
Oh, yeah, I usually do that bit. I'm going to go 194.
194. Okay, I'm going 203.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're going big.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's Laura Harris's day today?
I reckon we've got quite a few fireworks coming in.
Yeah, there is.
Nat Rafeson's in pretty good form.
She is.
Laura Harris.
Karras to come as well, yep. Tyson's back in. That's aerial this time from Austin, but it's going to be enough to get 2, you feel? If they can get back, and they do, and it's a 50 for Meg Austin of 33 balls. And look at the smile on her face in between the blowing, having run that 2 very quickly. And fantastic from Austin. The 50 up then off 33 balls, 7 4s, no 6s, but striking up around the 150 mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so pleased for her. She's worked so hard over winter and she's really taken her chance and shown what she can do.
Will be a leg bye to the total. It's a fairly wild old throw there from Rihanna Southby. Tricky to throw with the gloves on though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a tricky throw, slightly off balance, and luckily they didn't take 2 from it.
94 for 1. Tyson, as we mentioned, top wicket taker for the Hawks so far in this competition, but it's been looked after quite comfortably here. That's going to be a wide, well left that time by Stair Callis.
Yeah, she looked pretty tempted by her. I think he just straightened up a little bit, taking it over that wide line.
One more to the total. 96 for 1.
That always makes me smile, that.
I was going to say, we don't need it being done by the Tannoy team today, do we? Because we've got enough vocal youngsters in. Well, that's a lovely shot again. It's only going to be worth 1 from Austin. Just hitting it so nicely.
Yeah, she's seeing it like a beach ball at the moment. Really, I don't think she's mishit much.
No, not at all. 51 she moves on to from 35. 2 balls to come in over number 11. And the 100 is in sight for the Bears. And Callis tries to deliver it now, and they brought the fielder up. Brought her up for Callis, and Callis said, well, in that case, I'm going to go over the top for 4, and it does bring the 100 up for the Bears with 1 ball remaining in the 11th over. Callis on to 13, 101 for 1.
That was a great shot. Yeah, she's just slightly gone into out over the mid-off fielder. And I'll put some pressure onto Bex Tyson here.
She's gone for 28 so far. Last ball of the over, and they're going to go for a quick single here as well. And that completes over 11. 102 for 1, the Bears, after 11 overs. The return of Charlie Knott at the Birmingham end with the score on 102 for 1. Partnership now 32 for these two off of 18 balls, so going along quite nicely. And it's Callis who sweeps just for 1 into the leg side. Not okay to bowl then. She went for 14 in her first over. Austin used her feet there, but in the end she was followed a little bit by Knott, I think.
Yeah, she's just looked to give herself a little bit more room to access that offside of the ground. And I think she's just been foxed a little bit.
Yeah, there's plenty of room outside on that offside. So this time she tries to reverse. Doesn't quite work out, but they will get through for 1 more. 104 for 1.
Yeah, that was a great attempt there to try and kind of switch things up and put kind of more pressure onto Charlie Knott.
I think it's to do Knott followed her towards the pads then, didn't she? So wasn't able to get the reverse away. Good bit of fielding. A backward point by Freya Davis.
Yeah, they've got almost like 2 points in over there, and everybody's just kind of sat on the ring.
Sun's disappeared here at EdgBLASTon. We've got a few slightly heavier clouds appearing. There's no rain due today, so straight down the ground. That's a cracking shot. That's 6 runs from Stair Callis. Really got hold of that nicely. She moves up onto 21 from 12. Starting to motor here. 110 for 1. Very clean hitting.
That's a great shot, and she really held the pose there, didn't she?
It was very well held, to be fair. Just a wonderful follow through. This time not quite as graceful. Well, it's flat batted. They're going to turn it into 2 as well. Brilliant running. And Austin was running to the danger end there, but she got through really quickly. And that's the end of the over. And we've got 12 overs gone, 112 for 1. So still ticking round at 9.3 per over so far. The partnership now up to 42. Callis being the dominant partner so far with 23 of those. But these two have picked up really well where Perrin left off.
Yeah, absolutely. They've taken it and ran with it, really. It's, yeah, 112 for 1. It's, yeah, they're blistering through and giving ourselves a really good platform.
Yeah, there is here. So Tyson gone for 29 of her 3 wicketless so far. And one thing I did say earlier is that, you know, they don't take many wickets, the Hawks. It's the area of their game that when they've won 3 games, they aren't really taking many wickets per game. Here comes Kemp back into the attack. Oh, so Daisy Gibbs, should I say. That's straight down the ground, and she does take a wicket. And it's the wicket of Meg Austin. Well, I don't know if Meg was starting to look a little tired. She's been middling things very well so far. She's done some fantastic running out there. But that was straight down the throat of Charlie Knott, who takes her second catch of the game. And the score 112 for 2.
Yeah, that was a great innings from Meg there. She's 51 off 38 deliveries. That's pretty good going.
Only your second appearance, it'll do, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You're taking that, aren't you? And you can hear the ripple of applause around the ground there. But in comes Laura Harris to replace her.
Yeah, she can just get all of this. She's middled so many, just not that one and not picked out. Another good catch as well from Charlie Knott, the Australian. She'll probably be opening up for the Hawks, you feel? Laura Harris is in. Well, I think you'd pay your admission money to come and watch her bat alone today. So, I mean, it's the perfect platform for Laura Harris, this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with setting, as we were discussing earlier. There's no pressure and probably what she thrives with.
We saw a 17 ball 50, of course, against Durham. She's scored 77 against Somerset. She's hit 8 sixes already in this campaign. When she came out against Lancashire, first ball went, didn't it? So, I mean, we'll see. It was a big 4 with her first delivery. We'll see what she's going to offer today. And the fielders on the leg side boundary. So they know where she's going as she faces Gibb. And she's bowled. She's gone. First ball. Harris is on her way. Looks like she's played on. Inside edge. A shake of the head as she walks off. Well, that's going to be the story with Laura Harris. There'll be days when it works and days when it doesn't. And today, she's on her way without troubling the scorers. 112 for 3.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit unfortunate. She's got a little inside edge on that and just chopped on, but it happens.
It does. It means Daisy Gibbs on a hat-trick at the start of this over. 2 wickets in the first 2 balls.
Yeah, we've got Karis Pavely coming in to replace her, and
Yeah, she's chopped on. I mean, it looks as she was trying to cut it away. It was probably a bit close to be cutting away. I'll leave your expertise on this one.
yeah, I think she's just looked to go through the offside there and just didn't get hold of it.
28, Karis Pavely.
Karis Pavely is the new batter for the Bears. She's been in good nick this season as well. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic here now, 112 for 3. The men found themselves in a similar position last night, and Karis probably takes on the mantle now of maybe swinging the bat a little more. Well, Karis isn't going to mess around either, is she? So.
No, I think you've got 2 pretty busy batters in the middle now, and we've still got obviously more to come. We've got Nat Rafe, Izzy Wong still sitting in a dugout, so got plenty of firepower.
Here we go then. Daisy Gibb with a chance for a hat-trick. 112 for 3. Pavely on strike. And plays it out. And it's no hat-trick for the Hampshire Hawks' Daisy Gibb. And it's no run for Karis Pavely to get her started. There wasn't too much of a change of field there for the hat-trick ball, I noticed that. Georgia Adams just not offering up an extra slip or another catcher in close. Decided to just leave Daisy Gibb to go as she was. And her kind of average start is suddenly 2 for 17 for Gibb midway through her 3rd over. Oh, it's bowled her. She's got 3 and 4. And Pavely's on her way. And the leg stumps out the ground. Well, that one maybe kept a little bit low. And Karis played all around it. And what an over this is from Daisy Gibb. Could be a game changer, this. 112 for 4.
Yeah, this is a big over from Daisy Gibb, who I believe wasn't playing last game for Hampshire.
No.
But she wasn't playing for. Was she playing?
No, she wasn't, no.
Okay. Well, sure, she'll be glad to be taking the opportunity.
Yeah, she certainly is. 3 in the over for Gibb. And where do the Bears go now? Well, Nat Rafe, I think, is on her way to the crease. Slower ball. Yeah, Karis has played all over that, hasn't she? Probably expecting something a little fuller.
Yeah, that mid-wicket region just left open seemed probably quite appealing there, and slightly slower ball.
Yeah, she looked like she was well through the shot, wasn't she? As it clattered into her leg stump.
The Bears, number 73, Nat Rafe.
Well, Nat Rafe is in good nick at this moment in time. 56 the other night, I think she scored.
Yeah, she's been the Talbot's Law Player of the Match last 2 games, so she's been going pretty well.
averaging 35 so far in this competition since she come into the side. And we could be getting a triple wicket maiden here from Daisy Gibb. You don't get many triple wicket maidens in T20 cricket for sure.
No, looks like she's finishing over with a knuckle ball here.
Yeah, let's see if she can get out without conceding a run. No, she's not going to, because that's well played by Nat Wraith. And they're going to get 2 here, I think, quite comfortably. Good bit of fielding again. Or is that another injury issue? She looks in a bit of discomfort, Freya Kemp there, having made the stop. We're going to see the physio for the 3rd time, I think, in this game, as she parried that. No, she's up and about. And maybe the physio not required on this occasion. But a brilliant over from Gibb. Just 2 runs from it, 3 wickets. She's got 3 for 19 now from her 3 overs. And a different complexion on the game completely. 114 for 4. It's gone from 112 for 1 to 114 for 4.
Yeah, that's a huge over, and I'm sure she'll be incredibly pleased with herself taking that opportunity, and that's a game-changing over there.
Well, momentum swings, we know about them in T20 cricket. They happen quickly. What can the Bears do to get themselves back on track here? 7 overs remaining, 114 for 4. It's still a good base to build off, and 2 exceptional batters are at the wicket in Callis and Rafe, and Callis just showing how good she is as she sweeps the first ball for 4.
Yeah, that's a great start to it over, not phased by what happened previously, and that's will be good for the Bears, getting the momentum back in the innings.
Georgia Adams is back on bowling at the City end. Good shot from Callis again. Lovely strike through the covers for 4.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Back-to-back boundaries to start the over off, and that was great. She's so strong down the ground.
Really nice shot. Good use of the feet. Plenty of power as well. And lovely timing. 31 off of 15. So striking at just over 200 here. It's a definite 1. And it will just stay at 1. Brings Wraith onto strike. 123 for 4. 9 off the first 3 balls here. Staying just 1. Very clear no from Stair Callis that time. You could hear that all the way up here.
Yeah, that was pretty firm, not budging.
Yeah, I'm quite fine, thank you. A bit of a late adjustment there from Callis, but she'll get 1 more to the total.
Yeah, I think she was just eyeing up that offside. Obviously, all the offside players are in the ring, and we've got leg size pretty packed.
Good over it. 11 from it so far. Make that 12 as they complete another single. 2 4s and 4 singles from a very good over for the Bears to get them back on track. 126 for 4. Callis on 33. Wraith on 4 as things stand. So 126 for 4. We're in for an intriguing final 6 overs here. And of course, as part of our stream, we do like you to get involved as well. An opportunity to leave us a message or leave us a comment via any of our social media platforms at Warwickshire CCC. Any of those, you can send us a message. If you've got any questions for Chloe or anything you want to know about this afternoon's game while you're following the stream, at Warwickshire CCC, of course, via our social channels. You could always leave a comment as well underneath the stream. And don't forget to give it a like as well while you're there too. Gibb to continue. No great surprise after that brilliant previous over. On the first ball, she just concedes a single.
Yeah, that's good running there. Georgia Adams just sitting at extra cover, a little bit deeper, more towards the ring, so he's just taking a single straight to her.
Wraith onto 5, just going at a runner ball at the moment. Callis is on strike, hovering around the 200 strike rate as things stand. Probably up to her to provide some fireworks today, you'd feel.
I think we've got a U Bears competition going on in the crowd.
I was just starting to think that. It's trying to find out who's the loudest youth. I don't think they're teenagers. They sound younger than teenagers, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll be making their way into our little tent soon on the microphone.
I did go down there today because we had a couple of incidents last night where I think a couple of members of our sound team almost got took out by flying balls, but it was okay. I think they all survived. Dangerous place to be yesterday. It was raining sixes from Moeen Ali. One more to the total. I mean, this is exceptional from Gibb. No doubt about it. Will it be a game-changing over? Well, we're not going to find out about that for probably another couple of hours, but it's certainly had an impact on this game, for sure. 3 for 21. She's got 3 balls remaining in her spell. Cut away with power. Only going to be 2, you feel. It's well fielded this time by Tatani.
Yeah, that was a good bit of running. It's interesting. Daisy Gibbs just taking a pace off it. You can see her knuckle ball as she's walking back towards her mark. I think she's just looking to take pace off it a little bit.
One more to the total. And happy just to see this over through the Bears, you would feel. Get Gibb out the attack, just 5 off it so far. We can get away with a runner ball. You'd take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a kind of taking through this over. Obviously, that really destructive over previously from Daisy Gibb, and this is her last one, so you just see it out.
One down in Pembury in Kent, just 19 years of age. Daisy Gibb. Looked like by far and away the best figures for quite some time. A quick look through in the absence of Aaron. I'll have a look myself, you see. Yeah, but though previously only taken 1 wicket in a innings, so the fact that she's walked away there with 3 for 25, that's exceptional from Daisy Gibb. 15 overs gone here, 132 for 4.
From the Birmingham end, number 35.
132 for 4 as things stand. 5 overs to go, and we are looking. Well, you said over 200, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to win our little game today, Chloe. Do you?
Well, maybe.
Oh, okay. You're very positive. So 5 overs to go, and you're thinking 70 odd. Wow, let's see. It's going to be Bex Tyson back into the attack. Swept in the air and gone. And the catch is taken by Taylor, and Callis is on her way for 35 from 20 balls, or 21 balls, and the Bears have lost a 5th wicket, 132 for 5.
Yeah, that was a good catch there from 45. I'm sure that would have been spinning quite a lot going down. She's just looked to sweep and just top-edged it, but that shot has proven to be pretty effective for Stair so far.
It has, but she's on her way. And it's 132 for 5. So her first wicket for Bex Tyson. That's her 9th of the campaign. And we are going to see the introduction of your mate Wongy. Izzy Wong is ready to go. Catch taken there by Mary Taylor. And Wong is at the crease. So, I mean, we know Izzy's been put down on the card at 3 because if they lose an early wicket in the power play, you feel that she could come in. I mean, this is nicely set up for her here, isn't it? Just under 5 overs to go, an opportunity to really kind of put back to ball.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got enough time to build a little bit of an innings and really accelerate towards that back end with some real firepower.
Let's see. Tyson will bowl again from the far end. Let's see what Izzy's got to offer. They're going to propel the Bears up to around that 170, 180 mark. 1 to the total. Just alone, you Bears, this time.
Yeah, no competition there.
No, I think the little lad Hamster, he's won that hands down, to be fair. Good use of the feet from Nat Wraith. One more to the total. 134 for 5. Wraith on to 9. Again, Tyson will just look to get through this over quickly now. She's taken a wicket, just 2 singles so far. Just one more for the total.
Yeah, I think they'll just be looking to rebuild, or have a mini rebuild here, to put themselves in the best position for those final 4 overs.
Oh, that's nice. I think she's found the gap there, has she? No, it's going to be picked up just about. They will get back for 2, though. It's well struck by Nat Wraith. And I'll tell you what, that wasn't the most comfortable of 2s, was it? It wasn't far away from causing her a problem, but she did get back in time. Moves on to 13, and 11, should I say. And they score 137 for 5.
Yeah, that was a good bit of running there. She just split the leg side boundary pretty well.
Caught out. Good ball from Tyson. Saw her coming. Just fired it in. And it's just 1 to the total. And the score moves on to 138 for 5 off of 16 overs. So Wraith on to 12. Izzy Wong on 2. So 4 overs to go. So, I mean, realistically from here, if they went at 10 and over, we're looking at what, 178. I mean, it's still a really good score, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll be looking to get to about 165 mark, 170.
Well, if you look through so far this season, the total runs scored is 986, so they're averaging about 164 per match. So the opportunities there, that would be above what they've been managing on average throughout this campaign so far. Return of Freya Davis from this pavilion end. Misfield, but they are going to try and turn it into 2. This could be tight, and it's a desperate lunge in the end from Nat Wraith that gets her home. And so they always say it's a dangerous business running on a misfield, but the opportunity there couldn't be resisted.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think they've really taken advantage of that, because there's a big space behind extra cover. Naomi Tani did well to get around and only keep it to 2.
Now, it's not a wide ball. I'm surprised she left that. Misjudgment from Nat Wraith that time. I think she's cross with herself for not trying to hammer it through the covers, really. But
yeah, I think that's one of those, as you just misjudge it slightly. It's just in.
yeah, you say it's well bowled from Freya Davis that time. Possible 2 there again for a misfield. Yeah, ground cricket from the Hawks has been pretty good, but there's a couple of runs they could have saved already in this over so far.
Yeah, I just missed timing it slightly in the field. That was Mary Taylor doing the fielding. She just went for a sliding effort. Just mistimed it slightly.
142 for 5. Oh, she's edged that. Well, that's the difference, isn't it? You see Laura Harris edges it onto the stumps. In this instance, Nat Wraith has got the thin edge, and it's gone all the way to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how they come, but that's 4 more in the scorebook.
Yep, how's your luck? It doesn't say it was a thin edge through the keeper's legs, but she'll take it. 146 for 5. Wraith on to 20. 2 balls to come in the over from Freya Davis. 8 off it already so far, so a good over this one for the Bears. A bit of wicket keeping there. Southby up to Davis, and on this occasion whipping those bails off very quickly.
Yeah, Rihanna Southby's got, say, up there for some of the best hands in the country. She's pretty lightning fast behind them.
Last ball of the over. Rafe turns it round the corner. It's only going to be worth 2, you'd feel here. They will get back for a second. Rafe will move on to 22, and that completes 17 overs. 148 for 5 as things stand. And that in total saw 10 runs coming from that over from Freya Davis, who's none for 25 off her 3 so far. And Rafe really holds the key here with these final 3 overs, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's been going so well the last few games. She's got 2 50s back to back, I believe. So she's in some pretty good nick.
Georgia Adams is returning again from the City end. 1 for 25 so far. Full toss. Just poked really by Izzy Wong. She'll feel maybe she missed out on that. It's 1 to the total.
Yeah, one of her most dangerous balls, a full toss. Your eyes normally light up.
Oh, she's been beaten all ends up there, Nat Rafe. That's going to go all the way to the boundary rope for 4 byes. Well, you say it doesn't matter how that... Oh, no. It's not been given as byes. So she's saying she got a little nick on that.
I think she snicked it down to the boundary.
Wow. I thought she'd been completely done there. It looked like it had gone between her and the stumps. All the way to the ropes for 4, but Rafe with a little edge according to the umpire. She's on to 26. Down she comes again. That's in the air. Going to be fielded off 1 bounce. Just a casual chip really from Nat Rafe that time.
Yeah, it sounded like she middled that from here, but yeah, just rotating a strike.
That 4, by the way, did bring up the 150 for the Bears in the 18th over. Izzy Wong just happy to rotate the strike and give the singles to get Nat Rafe on strike at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think she kind of understands her role in this partnership. It's 4-4. She keeps rotating, getting that back on. He's 27 off 18.
That's a lovely shot. She's really picked a brilliant spot there for 4. That is my shot of the day from Nat Rafe. What a superb piece of footwork. And then the way she's drilled that through the covers.
Yeah, that was a great bit of footwork. You can see there her back foot's just gone behind to access that part of the ground. And yeah, it's really smart cricket. And another 4 onto the total.
She's going very well. 159 for 5. And it's going to be 1 more to the total to complete the over. 160 for 5 then off 18 overs. Nat Rafe going really nicely here. She's on 32 from 20. Izzy Wong with 4 from 4. And this partnership worth 28 off 17 balls. So 162 overs to go again. I mean, you'd be looking for 10. We just saw 12 off that last over. So anything really between 180 and 190 from here is going to be a really good score.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 2 overs to really just project themselves here, and Nat Rafe's sitting it like a beach ball. 32 off 20. She's steaming through with Mary Taylor onto bowl. A little bit of seam.
Just the 3 boundaries in Nat Rafe's 32 so far. Only a second over here for Mary Taylor as well. That's a big shot that's going to bounce once, and it's 4 more to Nat Rafe. Picked that up really nicely through mid-wicket. And that's her 4th boundary.
Yeah, that's a great way to start your over there. She's just shuffled across and hit it hard towards a Holly stand.
And since she came into the side, the Bristol-born player, as we say, 2 50s prior to today, 58 and 56. On the pads this time, but that's going down the leg side. It'll be 1 more to the total. 165 for 5. So she's gone 36. Only 10 balls to go. It's going to be tough work to try and get a 3rd consecutive half century for Nat Rafe, but you never know.
Never know.
Run rate at the moment 9 and over, so we could be looking at around 180 here if they keep going in the manner they have. .165 for 5. That's away by Izzy Wong. Nicely played and really nicely fielded actually. All done in one hand, the pick up and the throw. Wong's on to 5.
Yeah, that was a really smooth bit of fielding there at point, but they've snuck a run from it. Izzy Wong just understanding her role, getting the strike back over to Nat Wraith.
Nat Wraith, of course, has appeared for 3 teams in the 100 so far. It's a nice shot. London Spirit, Trent Rockets and Welsh Fire as well. Do you know what Nat's full name is?
Natasha Wraith?
No, the 2 middle names.
I don't.
Oh, do you want to know?
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
Okay, Agnes Jessica. Natasha Agnes Jessica Wraith. There you go. There's me telling you things about your teammates you don't know. Oh, she's missed that completely as Izzy Wong. She was trying to cart that one out the ground into the hollies. I think there's no doubt about that.
I think I did actually know that.
You knew it was Agnes.
I just couldn't remember on a hot spot.
You could just throw it in over dinner, can't you? 167 for 5. Last ball of the over coming from Mary Taylor. Only her second over. 167 for 5. Wong on strike on 5, and she's trying to leather that. She's just going to get a single, which means Nat Wraith won't be on strike for the start of the final over, but the Bears onto 167 for 5. Wraith on 37, Wong on 6, and lovely comment from Carl Seed there. Look, thoroughly enjoying listening to you on commentary today for the Hampshire game, and rounds of applause. Look.
Yeah, a little pat on the back. Thank you, Carl.
Very nice pat on the back.
That's very kind.
For you indeed. Of course, you can get your comments. You can join us on Twitter or any of our social. We can't call it Twitter anymore, can we? It's called X now, isn't it? Damn. At Warwickshire CCC, if you'd like to send any of your messages across on any of our social media platforms, or of course you can leave them in the comments section underneath the stream while you're giving us a like as well. Here we go then. Final over. 168 for 5. What can the Bears get to here? Freya Davies is into the attack again, and Izzy Wong's got that away and possibly all the way to the boundary. The chase is on, and they're not going to get there. Izzy Wong gets her 4, and the score moves on to 172 for 5. And she was going at a rare old rate of knots towards the boundary that time.
Yeah, Abby Norgrove's made that ground really quick. I winced there when she's hit the ground hard.
Yeah, Abby Norgrove, who's come in to replace Ella McCorkin, who's missing today, having scored 100, the first 100 in the men's and women's Vitality Blast of the season. Last time out in the Hawks' win against Essex, but picked up an injury, so missing today. Izzy Wong has taken that just off the stumps. I thought she was going to be bowled then, but it'll be 1 more to the total, and it's a bye, in fact. Okay, so there isn't, I suppose Izzy's moving. I was going to say it's a bye, but it was down the leg side. Nothing was on it, but Izzy probably moved too much to make it a wide, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to umpire from up here.
No. You usually do. Your finger goes up straight away for LBWs. 173 for 5. Wraith on 37. 4 balls to go. She can't, can she? Cuts that one away. It's just going to be 1, and it'll be Izzy Wong on strike. So Wraith not probably going to get to a 3rd consecutive 50, but again, another really good contribution. 3 balls to go. They can get over 180 here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that will be their aim. Maybe sneak a boundary or 2 this last 3 balls.
Absolute kudos to Gary Barwell and his team, because these wickets have been fantastic to bat on. Oh, there's an edge from Izzy Wong as she walks. Yeah, doesn't waste her time. Davis gets a wicket. It was a wide ball and she was reaching for it. And terrific honesty from Izzy Wong, because she immediately turned and walked away. 174 for 6 then, and 2 balls remaining in this Bears innings.
Yeah, she's just thrown her hands at a wide one, and unfortunately on her way back is quite a bold choice from Freya Davies there, to bowl outside off with the whole of the offside up. But it worked for her on that occasion, and Mary Taylor's just... Millie Taylor is coming into... I could get a slap on the wrist later.
But for calling her a sister, I mean, I know they are similar. However, well, they're identical, in fact. It's kind of how identical twins work, isn't it? They're similar. Okay. Their bowling actions are very different. That's what I will say.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very, very clear distinction for sure. 174 for 6. 2 balls to go then. What's Freya Davis going to throw up from the City end to the new batter, who is Millie Taylor? Oh, she's gone for that straight away. Down the ground. Is she going to be out first ball? She is. And she's gone. And obviously it means Nat Wraith doesn't get strike for the last delivery either. And it's a chance for a hat-trick here for Freya Davis. And Millie's on her way out for naught off her first ball, and it's 1-7-4 for 7.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think these last 2 balls, you got to go for it, and she just mishit it there. And Hannah Baker comes to a crease.
I was going to say, do you go for it, or do you kind of go, I'm just going to get a single and put Nat Wraith on strike? Because we've ended up here with Nat Wraith only facing 1 ball in this last over, which feels like a missed opportunity, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say so. That was a good back of the hand ball there, actually, from Freya Davis. She's just taken a pace off it, so that's
A good catch from Zatani.
Yeah.
Silly rule, that. I think you cross you. No need to have changed those rules. Oh, she's got it edged away. She's going to get a 4 off the final ball. And Hannah Baker will only face 1 delivery. She'll get 4 runs, and she's delighted about it. She runs off, gives Nat Wraith a little punch in the arm, because that's the innings over. 1-7-8 for 7 is where the Bears finish. Nat Wraith unbeaten again on 38 of 24 balls. An excellent knock from her. And it's Hannah Baker on 4 from 1 delivery she'll finish on. The rest of the card, Meg Austin top scoring with 51. Stair Callis adding 35 off 21 balls. And Dav Perrin with her 30 off 22. The major contributions of the innings. So we'll be back underway at 4:30, and the Hampshire Hawks will be chasing down 179 for victory.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Hello. Yeah, welcome back to Bears TV then. So 178 for 7, the total for the Bears in the end. We were a little more optimistic at the halfway stage in thinking they may notch up something around the 200 mark. But it was that particular over that we saw of real style and quality from Gibb, which kind of checked the action. Let's have a look at some of the highlights then from that first innings from the Bears as they posted their 178 for 7, of course. And first up, obviously, will be Meg Austin and her 50, which was a terrific knock, Chloe.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to be so chuffed with herself. Really breaking in and showing us what she can do. She hasn't had too much opportunity to do that so far this season, but she's gone out and really shown everyone.
Yeah, she struck the ball really well today. 7 fours in total. An opening partnership of 70 between her and Dav Perrin, of course.
Yeah, they got us off to such a great start, and yeah, I'm not sure the Hampshire bowlers were known where their wicket was coming from.
Yeah, it was a cheeky 2 to get the 50 for Austin in the end. She was batting with such confidence today. She seemed to be hitting everything out the middle of the bat. I wonder towards the end if she did get a little tired, because there was plenty of running going on with her and Perrin early doors in particular, turning some really good 1s into 2s. But it's a really good first 50, isn't it, for Austin?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure that'll give her tons of confidence going forwards, and actually, yeah, this is what I can do.
Only her second game in the team, of course, and look at the reaction of the rest of her teammates to celebrate that first 50. Well, eventually the innings did come to an end, and it came to an end at the hands of Daisy Gibb in an extraordinary over for Gibb. That catch being taken by Charlie Knott. Really good take from her to remove Meg Austin, and then that brought Laura Harris to the crease, and it was a very short stay today for Laura. She went first ball, playing on to another delivery from Gibb, and having played out the hat-trick ball, this was another view of Harris's dismissal. So the hat-trick was on for Gibb, but it was survived in the end, but not for long. And again, the cut shot, maybe a bit too tight into the stumps to try and play that from Laura Harris. We were really looking forward to her delivering today, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
It is. Caris Paverley was the third victim of the over. It was 3 wickets in 4 balls for Daisy Gibb. Her best bowling figures ever. She ended up taking 3 in total for 25 from her 4 overs. Again, a clever bit of bowling here. Slightly slower ball. It was shorter, and Caris Paverley threw the shot already, played all around it, and still managing to uproot the leg stump. But certainly the pick of the bowlers for the Hawks was Daisy Gibb. And it did kind of alter the course of the game, you think, you would say, because up to that point they were ticking over really nicely, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They were steaming ahead as our midway predictions kind of told, but yeah, that's just halted the momentum of the innings.
Tyson taking her customary wicket, the leading wicket taker for the Hawks in the competition this year. This was her 9th of the campaign. Only one today though. Stair Callis was who she picked up just as she had started to get going as well. 35 from 21 balls for Callis. She hit the only 6 of the Bears innings alongside 4 fours, striking at 166 today for Stair Callis, and all that led to that final total then of 178 for 7. So it's 179 the Hawks require if they're going to achieve victory here at EdgBLASTon in this game between the Bears, who lie 3rd in the table, and the Hampshire Hawks, who currently sit in 4th place. A reminder, the Bears women are back in action again on Wednesday. That game gets underway at 11:30, so we'll have the stream for you live from about 10 past 11. That's the game against Essex, and then on Friday they're underway at 3 o'clock, so a 20-3 start for us here on the stream in the game against the Blaze, who of course are the runaway leaders at the top of the table as things stand. This is a big run chase for the Hawks, and it's a big total to defend for the Bears, particularly if they have these aspirations of finishing in those top 3 places and reaching finals day at the Kia Oval at the end of July. Opening up the batting then, as we've heard already today, Maya Boucher will come out. England international, of course, well known for her appearances in international tournaments for England, and she'll be opening the batting, we believe, with Knott today, and that of course is because of that injury to Ella McCalkin, who is not out there, and it's indeed Knott and Boucher who will get things underway for the Hawks. And as ever, Chloe Brewer, Izzy Wong's going to get us underway from this pavilion end.
Yeah, it'll be slip and play. They're going to go hard at us, but it'll be a little bit of magic and a little bit of away swing from Izzy Wong will start us off with a flyer. Yeah,
plenty of shape that we've seen from her when she's opened the bowling at this pavilion end so far this season. She is ready to go at her mark, and she is the leading wicket taker for the Bears in this competition, 8 as well. And the Bears do tend to take more wickets, certainly, than Hampshire do. They tend to take 43. They've been taking 43 in total, so about 7 per match usually is on average what the Bears take. So here we go. Izzy Wong getting us underway. And immediately it's a dot ball to start with. And fairly acrobatic behind the stumps there is Nat Rafe.
Yeah, I think Meg just threw it, testing that out there with her arm, and that's a great bit of keeping work.
Yeah, it was. She was certainly showing what she can do, Nat Rafe, at that point. And it's going to be Izzy Wong again with his second ball. Once again, there is no run. Very lively in the field, the Bears, to start with today.
Yeah, they are. You can see them just buzzing around. Looks like she's having a great time out on the pitch. And that's what you want to see, a team that's buzzing around, having a good time. It kind of puts the pressure on the other team.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's Boucher who's on strike for the Hawks as things continue with Wong's third ball of this first over. And again, it's right on the money for Izzy Wong. No surprise she's back in that international T20 squad.
Yeah, absolutely. She's worked so hard over the winter last summer to get herself back in a position to be picked regularly. And she's got a fire in her belly again, which has been great to see, and she's bowling ever so well.
Good shot. Oh, it's just got through the covers. Possibly could have been stopped. I'd put it down as a misfield, but it was certainly well struck by Boucher, and it's 4 more to the total. And it was Stair Callis who was beaten in the covers.
Yeah.
Was I being harsh? She'd have stopped that, shouldn't she?
Yeah, that's a good shot there. She's hit it hard, and that's the thing of Maya Boucher. She strikes the ball hard.
Yeah, it was a powerful strike for sure. Nicely angled, just for a single.
Yeah, she just helped it down towards third man there, or Harris, in slip. Just looking for that tickle on the edge.
5 on the board as we get towards the end of the first over. Conversation between Izzy Wong and looks like Phoebe hasn't got a shirt number. I thought that might be the case. We were told she would have a shirt number, number 17, but clearly not printed in time. for Phoebe Graham. Well, Perrin's after that. I don't think she's going to get there despite her very best efforts. Yeah. I think I answered my own question earlier where I asked who was the quickest. Absolutely sprinting away there. That was the action of someone you'd see at the Olympics, to be fair.
Yeah, she's lightning out in the outfield, and she'll be here, there and everywhere, probably having the best time.
9 without loss. Boucher on 5, not on 4 at the end of the first over. And it's going to be a first bowl then for Phoebe Graham at the far end, on loan from Lancashire. It's part of this loan system between the clubs that seems to be working so nicely this season, just allowing everyone to get a fair amount of cricket.
Yeah.
Graham coming into the attack from the far end. First ball's loose, and it's edged away for 4. Not the best of deliveries to start for Phoebe Graham.
No, it's just been helped on its way, and she's just going to settle in a little bit here, get her loosener out of the way, and hopefully be on the money for that second delivery.
Boucher on to 9. Oh, she's played that very nicely. Slightly shorter ball. It's 1 more to the total.
Yeah, I think that's a really good line and length there. She's just guided it down towards third man.
Is that Millie Taylor down at third man?
Yes.
You sure it's not her sister?
Pretty sure.
She's busy again here, Millie Taylor. Twin Mary playing for the Hawks. We may see her batting later, who knows?
That'd be good. A Taylor battle.
Millie to Mary. .15 without loss. Oh, again, it's the outside edge of the bat. I think Boucher threw a lot at that. 1 more to the total. 16 without loss. Boucher on 11.
Yeah, Millie's just being kept quite busy down at third man boundary. That's a hard length for Phoebe Graham bowls.
Laura Harrison at slip. It's a lovely drive. Really nice shot that from Charlie Knott. In good form is Charlie Knott. Scored plenty of runs in that wonderful partnership with McCorkin that took them to victory against Essex the other day, the Hawks. Really nicely timed.
Yeah, that was a great shot through the covers. Obviously a vacant extra cover of Laura Harris in at slip, and there's tons of space out there to get our hands through.
1 ball to come. 11 off the over so far.
I think we've gone for a little gully position of Laura Harris.
Yeah, I wonder if there'd be. I was curious if there'd be a change for Boucher, given the way she was angling the ball too. And Graham goes up, and the finger goes up, and she's struck at the end of her first over. And it's Charlie Knott who's on her way, and she's dismissed for 9. And Phoebe Graham makes an impact. Her first appearance for the Bears, and she delivers a wicket. It's Knott who's caught behind by Wraith off the bowling of Graham, and it's 20 for 1.
Yeah, that's great for Phoebe Graham. First Bears wicket. And that's one way to finish off the over.
Yeah, it was 11 off the over, but a wicket with the last ball kind of makes it all worthwhile. 20 for 1 then. And Knott is on the way. Freya Kemp is the new batter, and after 2 overs it's 20 for 1.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Caris Paverley, who didn't trouble the scorers when she was batting. Let's see if she can trouble them while she's bowling, particularly in the wickets column. She'll have over 3 here for the Bears. 20 for 1. Cut away by Bouchier. And well fielded, but it's only going to be 1. Stair Callis doing the stopping this time. On the carpet that's protecting the wicket that was in use yesterday and is going to be in use again on Friday for the games against Blaze and Worcester.
Yeah, it looks like she's just scuffed her elbows a little bit there.
What's worse, going on a used wicket or going onto a carpet when you're diving? It's a tricky call,
That's
isn't
a great
it?
question.
It's a lovely shot. I mean, it's been muscled by Kemp, you could say. Just maybe a little bit too short from Caris Paverley, but just muscled into that gap for 4.
Yeah, that's been hit hard down at ground from Freya Kemp there, and it's one thing about her batting is she can bully the ball a little bit. She hits it hard and she hits it far very quickly.
Formerly, of course, of Sussex. Remember the Southern Brave as well in the 100. Laura Harris has a shot at the stumps. That was quickly done. 25 international T20s in her career for Freya Kemp. Not been hitting the heights with the bat so far through this campaign. That's a lovely shot though. She's delivered that nicely. And that's all the way for 4 runs. That was Bouchier, in fact, obviously after the single that was run earlier. But yeah, Kemp is high score of 20 so far in this campaign.
Yeah, that's a great shot down the ground, and that's really where her strong point is hitting hard, lofted drives.
You know, Bouchier can be a fairly destructive batter. Test match player, of course, for England. 44 internationals. Got a very good 92 earlier in this campaign. One more to the total. One more to Bouchier. And that's the end of the over from Caris Paverley. 11 off of it. 3 overs gone, 31 for 1. Bouchier on to 17. Kemp on to 5. And don't forget, if you want to keep across all the stats while you're watching our stream today, then visit our match centre, get downloading that EdgBLASTon app as well. Or you can, of course, go online to visit the match centre, all the useful information that you need. And also, while you're on the EdgBLASTon app, why not get yourself some tickets? Because we've got some cracking games coming up here, as we say. The women are in action again Wednesday morning. 11:30 is the start time for the game against Essex. And what a double-header we got on Friday. I mean, as local derbies go, against the Blaze, there's a bit of animosity there, isn't there?
Big day.
A tie earlier in the season. That's on Friday afternoon from 3. And the perfect warm-up for Friday night when Bears hopefully eat pears, but we shall see, as depicted on some of the wonderful merchandise you can get down in the superstore here at EdgBLASTon. Cut away by Bouchier, and she's found the gap. Dav Perrin was diving full stretch but couldn't cut that off. And Bouchier gets another boundary, moves on to 21. 35 for 1.
Yeah, I think these two here will be some of the big wickets. Obviously, really experienced batters at the crease and very dangerous.
26 years of age, Bouchier. She's got a century for England on her Test debut. It's a sign of some of the quality that she offers up. Escort out Well, the quality was there, but the wicket's been taken, and it's taken by the captain. And that's a really good catch from, I think, Callis may well have taken the catch. And she's on her way. Here's Boucher for 21, 4 fours in that 21, but she's got to go. And it's 35 for 2.
Yeah, that's a huge wicket there, back of Maya Boucher without doing too much damage. 31 for 2 in a power play, and this has turned out to be pretty good for the Bears.
The skipper, Georgia Adams, comes to the crease. It's a really good ball, actually.
Yeah, what I love about G's bowling is she just mixes up coming over and round there, and she doesn't give width at all, so you have to play through that region, and she's just hit it straight to the fielder.
Yeah, very nice from Georgia Davis. And the skipper in the wickets column. So what she can do now is she bowls to her opposite number. Experienced Adams. Nice bit of one-handed fielding as well from Georgia Davis. Too many Georges for my liking.
Too many Georges?
It's two Georges. I can't get with two Georges on the field at once. This is it's Adams that goes for the sweep, and they're going to try and complete one here quickly, which they do. The throw wasn't bad from Millie Taylor, but they got through really quickly for that single. And that, does that complete the over? I think there may be one ball to come. Apologies that our graphics are a tad behind, a technical issue at this moment in time. So the score is 36 for 2 as things stand.
Yeah, this left-hand, right-hand combination just giving the fielders time to switch over, find where they need to be.
Yeah, Freya Kemp just taking her time as she gets her guard here. 148 more required to win. That's been given as a wide. Plenty of experience at the crease here for the Hawks in Kemp and Adams. As I say, Kemp's not been in the best of form with the bat. So dot ball to complete the over from Georgia Davis. Just looks like 5 runs from it and a wicket as well. So a really good over from the skipper just to slow down the Hawks, who are 36 for 2 at the end of this 4th over. As I say, just apologies for the graphics on screen being a little behind. Some gremlins in the system that are currently being worked on, but it is 37, should I say, because of the wide, 37 for 2 is the score after 4 overs. Izzy Wong coming back into the attack.
Yeah, that was a great over from Georgia there, just holding up the momentum of a Hampshire innings.
Oh, nice ball from Izzy Wong, right on the spot to Georgia Adams.
Yep, on the money straight away.
She so often is. Georgia Adams, 31 years of age. Another former Sussex player, of course. Hasn't had to bat the last couple of matches that she's played, but averaging in and around the 20s so far this season in terms of her contributions with the bat in the Vitality Blast. Contributing more with the ball. There's one more to the total. 38 for 2.
See everybody running around for this left-hand, right-hand combination. It's causing a little bit of havoc.
Yeah, it always does, doesn't it? It's quite awkward. You can see why coaches and captains like to have that combination out there in this form of the game, don't they? Just because it unsettles bowlers in terms of their line and their length and Fielders are having to expend additional energy moving around. Oh, that's a good ball from Izzy Wong. Just chopped onto her pads from Freya Kemp. Really nice so far from Wongy. You can tell that the fielders appreciating the efforts of Izzy so far in this hour, being picked up by our microphones around the ground.
Yeah, lots of encouragement you can hear from the field.
Come on, Wongy. Yes, always coming from you here. I thought you were going to join in for a moment. It's going down the leg sides. Arms up in the air from Chloe Brewer alongside me. Definitely just straying onto the pads and the outside the leg stump for sure.
Yeah, just slightly going down, but she's still challenging those pads. And hopefully she'll get one through.
Just the second run off the over so far. Much better this from Izzy Wong this time round.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing a change of field here. Fine legs gone onto the boundary, so are square legs. So I think we might be seeing a shorter ball to round off the over.
Well, if she can get out with just 2 singles off the over, that would be a terrific effort here from Izzy Wong. It is slightly shorter. She waited for it, did Georgia Adams, and then just pulled it into the leg side, and daft pairing with with the fairly energetic throw. She's laughing at the fact that it was nowhere near the wickets and was fairly vicious in its delivery. 40 for 2 after 5 overs then, and that's a really good over from Izzy Wong. That's off the back of the initial over previously from the skipper Georgia Davis, doing an excellent job in just slowing things up here. 40 for 2 then after 5 overs. Phoebe Graham, one of the wicket takers, is coming back to finish off the power play at the City end.
Yeah, this is really good, chopping and changing, not letting the batters settle at all into anything. And Phoebe Graham, with her wealth of experience, coming in to finish off the power play.
2 fielders out are at deep square leg and at third man. And it's Perrin who's immediately in the action at backward point.
Yeah, it's following her today, isn't it, a little bit?
Well, there are worse fielders you would want to follow, really, aren't there?
Absolutely.
Good start to the over. We're not seeing the sun for a while. It's been quite overcast for a little bit, maybe helping these seam bowlers just a little in the early stages here. Back over at Phoebe Graham's head. There was a gasp of O from her, and that's not going to be cut off. I think that's hit the rope. And Stair Callis accepts that there's no stopping that one this time, and it's 4. Not the most convincing of shots from Georgia Adams, that's for sure.
No, she hasn't timed that too well down the ground, but it's ended up going for 4 despite a really great chase there from Georgia Davis.
Cracked into the leg side. Lovely sound off the bat. Oh, Carys Paverley is out there. And I mean, that's a brilliant bit of fielding. The acrobatics on use from Paverley.
Yeah, that's some serious acrobatics. That's her younger gymnastic days coming out.
I thought you told me that she used to do gymnastics. I mean, she's literally just thrown herself forward in a tumble roll there. Very nice. She's got more work to do. Restricts them to just a single again. .47 for 2. 7 off the over so far. 2 balls remaining.
Yeah, this is a good power play for the Bears. Obviously, they didn't lose any wickets during their power play. So far winning a power play.
Only 2 balls left. Phoebe Graham just, I think, shuffling Millie Taylor round a little wider on the boundary. Not quite fine leg. Oh, and that was struck hard by Freya Kemp. Almost struck completely down the throat that time of Stair Callis, but
He's back.
he is. 1 ball remaining. 47 for 2. Last ball of the power play. Again, it's a short ball that you just about get something on chance of a run out, and had it been accurate, it would have been a tight call. But that completes the end of the over, and that completes the end of the power play for the Hampshire Hawks with that quick single that's gone the way of Freya Kemp. The comparison then of the 2 sides at the end of the power play, it was a terrific power play, of course, for the Bears. They didn't lose a wicket and brought up the 50 with the final ball of the power play, 52 for them. Just behind the 8 ball there for the Hawks, 48, but the loss of 2 wickets, of course. So it's another victory in the power play for the Bears, and as we know, Chloe, that can so often lead you to victory in the game if you can win the power play.
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. And to get those 2 big wickets in the power play is really setting the Bears in a really good position to go on and win the game.
We're going to see the skipper back into the attack, and it is going to be Georgia Davis from this pavilion end. Just provides a little bit of a full shot there from Freya Kemp. I'm thinking about the second, but throw drilled in by Izzy Wong.
Yeah, that was a great deterrent there from Izzy Wong. You could hear the 2 from Freya Kemp as soon as she set off for it. It's a very good field and restricted it just to the 1.
Switch for the right-hander. So Izzy Wong now moving into the long-on position, and Phoebe Graham going into mid-off down the ground, and Graham's going to cut that off brilliantly. I think she almost parried it from her hands into her glasses as she stretched out for that.
Yeah, that's a great effort. That's a really good thing with Phoebe Graham, and she's really tall, so those balls that a lot of other people won't be able to get to as she can, and she just...
I was going to ask you in a moment about this kind of when you've got the right and lefty together and the shifting of positions. That's a really good shot from Freya Kemp for 4. And it's 50 of the up previous ball for the Hawks, 54 for 2 they're on to now. I noticed that the first ball of the over, Izzy was, when Freya Kemp was facing, Izzy Wong was in the circle at what would have been mid-on, and we had Stair Callis at long off. But then they swapped over for the right-hander. What's the thinking behind that? Is it just about where you think the ball's going to go and where you want your best fielder to be, or? Oh, chance for a stumping may have been there. Couldn't quite get to the ball.
Yeah, possibly. I think it's just where people are, where you're going to get the best out of your fielders. So Izzy Wong's really good on the boundary. Stair Callis being very effective in a ring, as you saw earlier.
And Phoebe Graham now on the boundary rope as well. Oh, there's a chance to run off the misfield here. A chance for a run out maybe, and it was close, but not close enough. Well, that's disappointing, I think, there from Hannah Baker. Probably could and should have done a little better. They ran on the misfield and got themselves a cheeky single. 7 off the over so far. 55 for 2 as things stand. Outside half of the bat, be 1 more to the total. 56 for 2 then after 7 overs. Hannah Baker is coming into the attack from the city end. So 123 required off of 13 overs at a run rate of around just shy of 9.5. That's the target for the Hawks. And immediately into the leg side for a boundary. Not the best of deliveries to start with from Hannah Baker, and punished accordingly, that time by Georgia Adams, who moves on to 16.
Yeah, that was a really good shot there from Georgia Adams. She's just pierced the gap on the leg side, and that's good to try and shift the momentum here for the Hampshire batters.
Yeah, really good bit of bowling from Hannah Baker against Durham. Got a couple of wickets the other night, did Hannah Baker. Very pleased with herself with her 4 runs earlier today as well. 4 and a red inker. Does the average some good?
Strike rate of 400.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Yeah, she'll be pushing to move up the order at this rate.
Going for some promotions.
61 for 2. Kemp on 12 and on strike. Again, the moving around of the field for the left-hander. Baker comes in, she drives down the ground for 4. There's no cutting that off. Really good shot from Freya Kemp, showing her class here. As I said, she's not had the best of campaigns of the bat so far, but we know the quality she possesses.
Yeah, you can see it there. She's drilled that down the ground, and Graham, despite best efforts, couldn't cut that off.
65 for 2. Expensive start to the over for Hannah Baker.
Yeah, she started off the over with a deep extra cover, but now she's shifted to 4 out on that leg side.
And picks out the fielder beautifully. And it's a perfect fielding change. Kemp's on her way. And a brilliant catch from Caris Paverley. And, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better, really, could you? The change in the field pays off immediately. And Kemp's on her way for 16. And it's 65 for 3.
Yeah, that's a huge breakthrough. Freya Kemp just looked like she was loosening up a little bit, but that field change, a little bit of perfection, and she's on her way back to the dressing room.
Yeah, how often do you see that happen? You literally swap your field round and it goes straight to the fielder that you've moved into that position. And Caris Paverley taking the catch well, diving onto that used wicket that's covered over with a carpet. She'll be moaning about marks on her elbows, I suspect, later.
Yeah, that's a great grab there from Caris Paverley.
Nice reward for Hannah Baker. Had a tough start to the over, but gets the wicket. And it's going to be the introduction this time of Rihanna Southby, the wicket keeper for the Hawks. 65 for 3. They're just losing a few too many wickets here, the visitors.
Yeah, I think I've kind of struggled to maintain any momentum here with that loss of wickets there, and haven't really formed many partnerships.
A bit more air from Hannah Baker that time. It's amazing how you're going to get a little bit more confidence when you take a wicket, isn't it? And you batter in, and opportunity to maybe just give it a little more flight, see if it can get some more purchase as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well the batters were coming pretty hard at Hannah Baker, so she'll be glad to see the back of them.
Well, 10 off the over so far, but a wicket as well, and no run off the last ball. So a good over in the end, really, for Hannah Baker. She got rid of Freya Kemp, and it's 66 for 3 after 8 overs. 12 overs remaining, then 113 required for victory. At Rafe and Hannah Baker speak. And now we're going to see Millie Taylor come into the attack for the Bears. And this rather unique bowling action she possesses, but very effective, as we saw in the game against Somerset in particular. And she's going to bowl from this pavilion end.
Yeah, she's bowling really well, and it's only her first season of professional cricket, so she's stuck herself well on the scene.
Ooh, that lifted a bit of bounce that wasn't expected on that occasion, and not far away with that throw as well from Callis. Dangerous fielder there, Callis. Georgia Adams using the feet. Absolutely no interest in turning for a second, which Southby was thinking about, but told to turn away.
Yeah, I think Georgia Adams was just happy with that single there, rotating the strike.
One more for the total.
Yeah, I think Hampshire Hawks will just be looking for a little bit of a rebuild here after the loss of wickets. 3 down already, and
captain's at the crease for them, of course, to try and steer the ship accordingly. Nat Rafe is again all energy, I would say, behind the stumps, but she was on the 3rd strip away from the wicket that we're playing on today at that point. 70 for 3. 109 more required. They're going to think of turning this into a 2. I think they're going to get it as well. Well, it's really well fielded actually out there from Hannah Baker. But they just picked the perfect spot really, where Perrin and Baker were going to converge on the ball.
yeah, I think clearly just looking to knock it into that gap and try and push 2 every time. We've got 2 very speedy fielders, so it will be a big ask.
Again, just one more, and that's 7 off the over from Millie Taylor. But that'll do. It's still below the required run rate, which is up around 9.6 at this moment in time. 73 for 3, 106 more required off of 11 overs. So last time you were with us, you were saying that you often have like kind of quiet evenings in to do a bit of Netflix watching, but you were reluctant to tell us what you and Izzy Wong were watching. And I understand Izzy's parents were watching the stream and were a tad concerned as to what you two had been watching.
Yeah, we had some questions of, well, exposing our little girls' night in. And
See, the things you say on the stream, you're telling hundreds of thousands of people, you know. Good use of the feet from Georgia Adams. For a moment, I thought it was heading in the direction of Laura Harris. Brilliant bit of fielding from Perrin. And is the Brewer household currently indulging in Love Island at the moment? Is that one of the programmes that's probably catching the imagination of much of the Bears women's team, I'm guessing?
I'm not sure how many of the girls are actually watching it. I think me and Abs
Just you and
kind
Abs.
of hooked.
Oh, okay. Down the ground, and that's just going to be one bounce for just a single. Izzy Wong doing the fielding.
I reckon I'm putting some bets, and Meg Austin is also watching it.
Do you think so?
I'm placing a bet, yeah.
Okay. Why are you saying this? Is just very much a Love Island fan, is she, do you think?
Yeah, I reckon so. It's just, I mean, it's really bad. It's easy to watch, isn't it?
Yes. Well, look, I wouldn't know actually. Yeah. Funnily enough, I used to start watching it with the kids, but now it just seems to be me and my wife are the only two that are actually watching it still, and the kids all seem to have moved on from it. So.
I enjoy how you try to expose me for watching Love Island, and you've just exposed yourself.
Well, I'm an honest individual. It's character building. And there are some real characters in there, to be fair. Last ball going of this second over. That's going to be one more to the total, and that's a pretty good over from Hannah Baker in total. 6 singles from it, and that completes the 10 overs, and we're at the halfway stage then. 78 for 3 for the Hampshire Hawks, and at this stage the Bears were 91 for 1, so a 13-run advantage right now for the Bears compared to the Hawks are, and also a 2-wicket advantage as well. So you feel very much at this stage, Chloe, that the Bears are in the box seat.
Yeah, those are big advantages, especially at the halfway stage, and I say that wicket column is more important because obviously the big batters have come in and gone really without troubling the scorers too much.
Yep, this is true. Millie Taylor is back in. Just 6 singles from her first over. I'm trying to take her to task this time. Straight down the ground. That's going to be 4. Unable to cut that one off this time. And it's 4 more to the total.
Yeah, that's a really good shot from Rihanna Southby. She's just cleared that front leg to be able to access that sight screen.
Yeah, Caris Paverley was chasing her after it, but unable to get there. 4 more for the total, 82 for 3. Just the one. Good fielding.
Yeah.
Restricting them to the single.
Yeah, I think Georgia Adams was looking to turn and go pretty quick there, but Rihanna Southby wasn't interested by the second.
Just trying to work out who that is fielding out there. Was it Hannah Baker that time? I'm not sure.
Meg Austin, I believe.
Ah, Meg Austin. Fielding well and not thinking about Love Island, it would appear.
Evidently so.
Good fielding from Caris Paverley as well there too. I think it was a moment of panic for Caris there, that her throw had evaded everyone and was heading for buzzers.
Yeah, that's never something you want to see, is it?
No, there was a moment of panic, but calmness was restored, and her and Davina Perrin were able to just relax.
Yeah, just a slight change here. Cover's coming up and Millie's coming left arm round.
Tucked up. Lizzie Wong will do the initial bit of fielding. And it was Meg Austin who was out on that boundary, and she's back and forth to the boundary again here. Well, you know, it'll be quite interesting if the Bears win. We'll be joined up here by the Virtue Player of the Match.
Yes.
And at this moment in time, I would have thought Meg might be in the running. So we can find out. We can tell her you've exposed her as a Love Island watcher and find out if she does actually watch Love Island too.
I'm sure she'll be thrilled with me.
I'm sure she will. That's the end of the over. 11 overs gone. The score moves on to 87 for 3. It's a glum-looking Hawks bench right now because they know they're up against it here. 92 more required from 9 overs, so the run rate up above 10. And it's going to be Caris Paverley into the attack from the City end. A bit short, that one. Cut away. Just be 1. Hannah Baker on the boundary.
Yeah, they just had Stair Callis flash up on the screen, and she'll be sure I'm happy that I'm going to mention that she's got 7 international wickets.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, not seen her with the ball yet at all.
I can't imagine you will. I think she's put it away for a few years.
7 international wickets. There, was it Michael Vaughan who always kind of talked about the fact he bowled Sachin Tendulkar once, I think. I think he dined out on that for many years.
I mean, you would, wouldn't you?
Well, I think you have to look at the quality of the ball, first of all. I think it was a bit of a pie, but there we go. Sometimes it happens, doesn't it? Yeah. 90 for 3. 3 singles off the first 3 balls. And I think at the moment the Bears are quite happy to contain them to this, aren't they? Because when you need 10 and over, if you can dry up the boundaries and just, as we say, keep them to a run a ball, slowly your position becomes more and more dominant.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hampshire Hawks are going to have to start doing something here. 88 off 50 is quite a big gap to start kind of closing to get it down to a run a ball. So if they keep bowling really tight lines to their fields as they've done, it's going to be a big task.
Just the one again. So 4 5 off the over so far. Just things ticking over very nicely as things stand. Cut away for one more.
Yeah, that's a really good over there from Pavley. Run a ball about 2 just to finish off. So no boundary from it. 94 for free after 12 over 85 to win.
Yeah, 85 required. The partnership between these two, 28, but only off 26 balls. So it's just a run a ball, which again is quite comfortable for the Bears. And I suppose there are 2 ways of trying to win matches. And you could probably guide us through this a lot better than I can. But I'm guessing your options are you very much try to take wickets, and that's how you go about being quite aggressive. Or when you're in this kind of position and the team you're playing is already almost up to 2 a ball, you just try and keep things tight and squeeze and force them to do the hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. I really agree with you, Vaz. You just got to dry up the runs.
This has been an interesting over in the last couple of games for Izzy Wong, over 3. The last couple of games she's done it from the City end and has bowled slower balls, and it doesn't seem to have quite come off. So it's interesting to see she's at her favoured end. This is her favoured end. She prefers the pavilion, doesn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, she always opens from this end, doesn't she? So
yeah.
I assume this is a preferred option, and this will be an interesting over. See how she goes, because she's got such good pace. The slower balls are part of the armoury, but let's see what we have this time. Yeah, slightly slower into the pads for 1.
Yeah, I think this is really good from Izzy here. She's continued to challenge a pad throughout the whole of her spell so far. 13 going from her 2.1 overs.
Not like her to be wicketless at this stage, is it?
No, it's a pretty rare sight. She's, as you said earlier, top wicket taker for the Bears.
Oh, that's slightly different. Oh, he's given that a wide. Well, Neil Bainton, I think that's quite harsh. I mean, it's come probably from the square leg umpire. I didn't think there was much wrong with that.
Not gonna umpire from up here. It looked a pretty good bumper.
I thought so. You sit on the fence. I didn't think it was a wide, but I don't think Izzy thinks it's a wide either, to be fair.
No.
She doesn't look too pleased about that call. This time a little bit shorter, pulled out, and again it's not far away, and that's all going to be spilled. And Caris Pavley, she wasn't far away from the catch, but then got both hands to it on the bounce, but it squirms away.
Yeah, she was really trying to cover the ground for that catch, but unfortunately it's just gone for boundary. That brings up the Hampshire Hawks at 100.
It does. 79 more required to win. Off 46 balls in total. So a couple of wides, a single and a 4 off this over so far. Southby's going along quite nicely here. Certainly picked up the tempo from what Georgia Adams was offering up.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, it just looks like she's ramping up through the gears a little bit and trying to look for those boundaries, because at this point that's exactly what they need.
I know you thought she may open actually today, didn't you, in the absence of McCocken, who's not available through injury, but I did go for the option of Charlie Knott instead. So Southby got plenty to offer. Slower ball again from Izzy Wong. 1 more to the total.
Yeah, that's really well bowled. That slower ball in Izzy Wong's armoury just makes her even more dangerous, as she hides it pretty well.
102 for 3. Some slightly threatening clouds above, but there's no rain forecast for today. Slower ball once more. Just waited for that this time, and it's 4 more to the total. Southby reading these slower balls from Izzy Wong right now. She's on to 25 from 16 balls. It's been an expensive over so far. with 13 coming from it.
Yeah, it's been a big over so far, and it's just finding the gaps a little bit here. As Rihanna Southby, you can see that Rihanna Southby is just trying to shift through the gears here.
Partnership up to 41 from 31 balls now. 73 from 43 required. Plenty of wickets in the hatch as well. Again, it's a slower ball. This time round, it's just going to be one. And it completes the 13th over with the score up to 107 for 3. An expensive over from Izzy Wong. And at this point, let's have a look at the comparison between the two teams. Well, the Bears had just lost those 3 wickets in 1 over. So after 13 overs, they were 114 for 4. And Hampshire now 107 for 3. So the gap has been reduced to 7 runs. And wickets-wise, the Bears have overtaken them in terms of the wickets lost. So this game is very delicately poised.
Yeah, it really is. I should imagine it will come right down to a wire. And by the looks of it, Hampshire really aren't going to give up here. So they'll take it down to the fine line.
Now, Adams and Southby are the 2 in batters right now. 42 they've added. And they're going along quite nicely as things stand. 107 for 3. Davis is back. One more to the total.
Yeah, this is really good angle here to kind of not giving the right-hander any room. Forcing just singles, really.
They're going to try and run this as a second. Perrin's throw is good. And he's out. No, it was tight. But the umpire well positioned. Bails removed by Georgia Davis. And they get back for the 2. My mistake, there wasn't a single off that first ball actually. So they're the first runs off the bat in this over. 109 for 3.
Yeah, that's a really good awareness. They've really pushed Davina Perrin.
70 off 40.
Both.
Again, that's 1 to the total.
Yeah, Karis Pavley and Davina Perrin there, long on, and Carol Corner cover ground so quickly is that those 2s are going to be hard to come by.
Adams 31 off 29. Southby up to 29 off 20. 110 for 3. That's a bit of a full shot. I'm just going to get 1. Or are they going for the second? They've thought about the second. 1 more again. They move on to 46.
Yeah.
Partnership off 36 balls.
Yeah.
On to 1-1-1.
So you've got to keep 1 foot off the floor, isn't it? If you're for batter's
yeah,
team.
I was going to say, don't put your feet both down firmly.
Mine.
We'll have a wicket this time round.
Both on the floor.
4 off the over so far. And there's the wicket! And it comes, as it always does. Southby is on her way for 29. Georgia Davis strikes again. Laura Harris with a catch. And how crucial will that wicket be? 1-1-1 for 4. And, yeah, the luck, or bad luck for Hampshire, strikes again.
Yeah, that's a big wicket here. Rihanna Southby just on the way back. And that was a crucial partnership to break. There, that could have been dangerous if they went to kick on from there. But that's some really good bowling from Georgia Davis.
Well, it was needed. We're going to see Naomi Datani come in now for the Hawks. 111 for 4. Georgia Davis again making the contribution that we know she can, just at the right time as well. Safe pair of hands in Laura Harris.
Yeah, we've got left-handed Naomi Datani coming in to replace Rihanna Southby. Naomi's started off at Sunrisers a few years ago, then moved up to Lancashire, and now she finds herself down at Hampshire.
She's on strike. There's 1 ball to come in the over, 2 for 18 so far for Georgia Davis. And it's a good one as well. Almost Yorked her completely then. And it's the end of the over, so 14 overs gone, 112 for 4. 67 more required to win off 36 balls.
Yeah, that's a big ask for the Hampshire Hawks here. 4 wickets down with that partnership just being broken in this over.
I think Georgia Adams is going to be key here, really, isn't she? 32 off 30. It's just how much she can up the ante to try and drive her team forward. Datani, well, she's got the capabilities of clearing the ropes. Hannah Baker is back. 1 for 16 from her 2 overs so far. So 6 overs to go. Bit tight for who's going to be the virtue player of the match. You think there's been a good few contributions out there. That wicket again from the skipper maybe has just pushed her into the running.
Yeah, I think a couple of the Bears players are really putting their names in the hat today, aren't they?
Well, I mean, from a runs perspective, obviously Meg's 51. There was the 38 from Nat Wraith, and then from a bowling perspective, Georgia Davis has chipped in with a wicket. Obviously, Baker's got a wicket as well. That's going to be tight, is it? Oh, they've made it in the end quite comfortably. I don't know. We'll see.
We will see.
Maybe there's a real match-winning contribution still to come in these last 5 and a bit overs. Hannah Baker. Datani straight to Laura Harris. On 14 for 4. Oh, not far away from that. Good work again from Nat Wraith. Yeah, 2 for 19 from Georgia Davis so far in her 3 overs. Another wicket from her could put the skipper in the frame. Good field placing. Datani just picking out Millie Taylor. Good over from Hannah Baker. Look at this, 4 dots and a 2 so far. Really putting the squeeze here on the Hampshire Hawks. Onto the pad, no run again. Brilliant over from Hannah Baker. Just 2 runs from it. 5 dot balls, and the Hampshire Hawks are struggling here. 114 for 4. 65 required off of the final 30 balls.
That's such a great over.
Yeah, that was such a great over.
Oh.
So you were saying, yes, such a great over.
Such a great over. Yeah, that's it.
I thought you were just making a statement. I knew that.
Full stop.
Yeah. It was a super over. 114 for 4. 65 then off 30 balls. So we're up at more than 2 a ball. So we're over 12 and over required off these last 5 overs. In fact, it's 13 and over. That's required. Oh, and gone, and Georgia Adams is out now, and Millie Taylor strikes, and that surely now is the last chance here for the Hampshire Hawks, and the Bears look en route to claiming 4 more points in the quest for reaching final stay in the Vitality Blast. Adams is on her way, stumped by Wraith off the bowling of Taylor, and it's 114 for 5.
That's a great wicket. You can see with joy on Millie Taylor's face there. Obviously, she's come up from Hampshire, and to take the captain, she'll be pretty pleased with that.
Well, we're getting closer to seeing her sister, which I think is the is the moment we're all waiting for. Abby Norgrove. She is into the crease. She's the change from their victory over Essex the other day. Happiness from Millie Taylor. Good work from Nat Wraith as well. Yeah, totally doing Georgia Adams. Probably one of the more comfortable stumpings that Nat Wraith will have to execute.
Yeah, that was really good work behind the stumps. And quick hands, and Georgia Adams back in the dugout.
114 for 5 then. And Norgrove on strike straight away. Just 2 runs from the last 8 balls and a wicket. So again, making it quite tight here for the Hawks. Pressure being applied. The squeeze is on from the Bears. And as we discussed, if you do squeeze and keep it tight and stop the runs coming, then invariably they start to take chances and make mistakes.
Yeah, that's what you really want to force the Hampshire Hawks to do, is force them to do something they really don't want to do. And you can see that with that coming down a wicket from George Adams. It's just forcing them to play with different plans.
Millie Taylor just moving the field around a little bit here. Perrins come into the circle. So the 4 out are straight and then on the leg side. Another stumping, is it? Yes, it is! And Datani's gone. And it's that combination of Taylor and Rafe once more who deliver for the Bears. And the Hawks lose a 6th wicket. 115 for 6. And it's almost an action replay of the first ball of the over. 2 wickets in 4 balls for Millie Taylor. And the Hawks are in real trouble now.
Yep, that's another big wicket there. Seeing the back of Naeem Datani. And this is what we came for. Her identical twin coming to the crease for the final 2 balls. A battle of the Taylors.
Well, multiple wickets in an over. We thought changed the course of the innings for the Bears. And it may well be that these 2 victims of Millie Taylor will change the course of this game for the Hawks and finish things off. So another good delivery. Good work by Nat Rafe. Completely missed, all at sea. Doesn't take the bail, she takes the stump as well, does Nat Rafe on this occasion.
Never in doubt.
And as we say, it does bring Mary Taylor to the middle. Of course, Millie Taylor's twin sister. I'm sure the umpires will feel like they're seeing double out there right at this moment in time. So here we go. It's Millie to Mary. Almost caught her on her pads. She's going to get 2. Might be signals of leg byes, or was there a little bit of bat in that? There was some bat in that from Mary Taylor.
Yeah, this has been a great 2 overs from the Bears, really. Hannah Baker being almost clinical.
Oh, she's trying to hit her sister out of the ground, but she'll just get 1. Moves her on to 3 and completes the over, the 16th over. Really good over. 4 runs off it and 2 wickets for Millie Taylor that time round. So 4 overs remaining, 118 for 6. They require 61 off 24 balls. Here's your chance to vote for your Virtue Player of the Match right now. Who do you think's had the biggest contribution on this game for the Bears? The performance of the day. A couple of wickets for Millie Taylor. A couple of wickets for the skipper, of course, Georgia Davis. We also saw runs in the first innings, particularly for Meg Austin as well. But who's your pick? You can have your vote right now on our social media channels at Warwickshire CCC. Get your votes in now. And here we go, 4 to go. Who will be the Virtue Player of the Match? What's going to happen in the next 4 overs that maybe would influence your vote? Get them in quick if you can. 61 required. And it is Georgia Davis. 2 for 19 from her 3 overs so far. And it's going to be Mary Taylor on strike. Just digging that one out. One more to the total.
I think we've got a U-Bears battle back again.
Yeah, it is. That's
a good one.
I was going to say, that one hung around for a while. Abby Norgrove on strike then. It'll just be 1. Karis Paverley patrolling the boundary.
Yeah, that's really good there. Obviously, the run rate going up to almost 3 a ball. The Bears bowlers doing really well to almost kill the game and being really clinical with their lines.
Yep, wickets are coming naturally with it. That desire to chase and have to force the pace means that the wickets do tend to tumble as well. But it's the control, the accuracy that's paying the dividends here for the Bears. They were, of course, ahead of the Hawks in the table, but they'll open up a nice gap with the 4 points here.
Yeah, another game. Surrey versus... Surrey are playing today, so they've
They are.
taken top.
They'll go to 20 points, the Bears, with victory here. Don't think they can quite get to a bonus point, although quite a few runs required here. It'll be a 4th win of the campaign, of course. And then those other fixtures that are taking place this afternoon elsewhere. Perrin's going to cut that off just for single. Durham have beaten Somerset elsewhere by 4 wickets. Surrey beat Essex by 5 wickets. Glamorgan have beaten Middlesex by 30 runs. As you head down into League 2, busy old day. Kent beating Gloucester as well. One's in the air, but just going to be one more to the total. And it's a very solid over, really, in the grand scheme of things. 8 from it, but nothing too excessive. 3 overs to go, 126 for 6, so 53 more required off 18 balls. You'd feel that the Hampshire Hawks race is run. A reminder, if you are with us on the stream this afternoon, whatever it is you're watching on, please do give us a thumbs up and click on that and show your support for our Bears TV. We are back, of course, with you on Wednesday for the Bears women game against Essex. That's an 11:30 start, so we'll be live streaming from around about 10 past 11, and then another double header on Friday for you before we head into what is the break in the midst of this Blast campaign for both the men and the women. Will have the Blaze against the Bears from here at EdgBLASTon at 3 o'clock on Friday, and then in the evening, of course, we've got the Bears versus Worcester. A couple of local derbies. Tickets still available as well. It'll be a cracking Friday night out. And I hate to say it, and I'll whisper it quite quietly, the weather forecast for the next week or so looks majestic. So it will be a very special Friday here at EdgBLASTon. Get your tickets. If not, join us, of course, here on Bears TV on the stream.
Yeah, it's looking quite appealing, but don't say it too loud because the sun might hear.
It is. I think next weekend we're up in the early 30s, to be fair. It's a nice sweep shot from Mary Taylor. It's going to go all the way to the ropes, and it does for 4 runs. The chase was on. Sister being one of those who was carrying out that chase on that occasion.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe Norgrove actually.
Yeah,
shot.
they look pretty similar, don't they?
I was going to say, yeah, there's a lot of ponytails, dark hair and ponytails going on out there. It's Norgrove with a 4 that time. Taylor's on 9, Norgrove on 7. It's bad enough trying to tell the twins apart, let alone anybody else. Well, that's another good shot. Reverse sweep this time from Norgrove. Full toss from Hannah Baker is punished.
Yeah, those are some really innovative shots there from Abby Norgrove, just using the whole of the ground, really, playing 360. Hannah Baker's got 3 on the leg side with deep cover out, and she's just found a gap between a short third man and point.
Frustrated looking bench on the bunch on the bench for the Hampshire Hawks. Up outside the dressing rooms, they look very happy, do they? Not been the best of days on their trip to EdgBLASTon today. Just being squeezed here out of this game. Guess we're going to see something pretty spectacular in the final 14 balls. Stomps out again from that race. She's going to be loved by the ground staff here, isn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't hold back, does she?
No messing around. 137 for 6, 42 more required off 13 balls. Last ball of a spell from Hannah Baker. 1 for 29 so far. And down the ground, and that's going to be 4 more to the total. Norgrove again moving on to 16. score on to 141 for 6 then with 2 overs to go. 38 more required. And that's the end of Hannah Baker's spell. 4 overs for 33. Expensive over to finish there. 15 off it in total. But still not really enough to bring the Hawks into this game. They require 38 then off the last 12 balls.
Yeah, it's a very big ask here. Abby Norgrove's definitely not going down without a fight, that's for sure. She's 3 boundaries in that over, and I think we've just I think Izzy Wong's just gone and fetched a ball there, just found that little crack over there between the stands.
Yeah, it did go into the gap for sure. Caris Paverley is going to bowl over number 19 from this pavilion end. 17 off her first 2 overs so far. So 38 required. Plenty of runs here to defend off these final 12 deliveries for the Bears. Oof, quicker ball. Completely deceived Mary Taylor. Nice from Caris Paverley. Bit shorter this time. Pulled away for 1. Wonder if she'd been having chats with Dan Mosley there. We're going to see a bouncer shortly or similar with the quickness of that previous ball from Caris.
Yeah, she does have a pretty quicker ball. But she definitely uses that to advantage, mixing the pace up really, really well and forces chances.
Turn around the corner, and that's going to go to the ropes. That's a clever shot, actually, from Mary Taylor. Just turns it round to the ropes for 4. And a nice little cameo innings here. She's on to 15 from 11. 147 for 6, so 32 more required off the last 8 balls.
Yeah, that was really good there. She's just used the pace of Caris Paverley with that quicker ball.
It's a wide ball. Bit slower that time from Paverley. Just ended up straying in her line.
Yeah, she's gone again, just using the pace of Caris Paverley. Even though there is a fielder there, she's just managed to get it past either side both times.
Another boundary. It's 11 off the over in total. 1 ball to come. 27 required from the last 7 balls, and the 150 up. And a decent little partnership between these two. 37 off 19 has just almost kind of crept along, and didn't really notice it was coming between them. But a terrific little partnership at this point in the game. It probably won't be enough, but 1 more to the total. That's a unique underarm throw that time coming in from Stair Callis. And there's 1 over remaining then, and it's 19 required. Sorry, 26 required off this final over. So we know it's going to have to be a biggie and something rather special.
Yeah, this is going to have to be something special from the Hampshire Hawks. We've got Izzy Wong bowling the final from the city end.
It is indeed. 26 required then. Izzy Wong with ball in hand. Fiddling with the field. Izzy Wong. What are you thinking? Slower balls, we'll see?
I think so. I think she'll just try and take all the pace off her. She'll be mindful of a ramp here.
It is a slower ball, and it's 1 to the total. So 25 required then off the last 5 deliveries.
Yeah.
1 for 26 for Izzy. This is not like her not to take a wicket. 8 already in the campaign, of course, prior to today.
Yeah, but I'm sure she'll be looking for some in this final over.
Oh, and she almost got it. Has she got it? No. No LBW. I think it was far away from bowling her as well there. Big appeal from Izzy Wong. She's got both hands on hips. Curious as to why that wasn't given. Let's have a look. Slower ball well. I mean, has it struck her outside? I'm not sure.
I think she must.
There's a lot going on there.
There was a lot. There's almost 3 dismissals.
Yeah, it certainly was. That slower ball again from Izzy Wong. 24 then needed off the last 4 balls. So 4 sixes here required for the Hawks, unless there are some no balls and free hits and stuff, of course. And that's just going to be 1, possibly 2. They are coming back for a second. And it's 22 required then off the last 3 deliveries. So touching wood, I think we're safe to say the Bears are picking up another 4 points here. And will cement their position in that top 3 with this victory. As we say, it's a big week ahead with Essex coming up in midweek and the Blaze here on Friday as well. Remember, it's a 14-game campaign. They play each side home and away. She has been wrapped this time, and it's 4.
Yep.
Mary Taylor.
A little bit too late, but it's good there from Mary Taylor to find a boundary in this final over.
Yeah, partnership's 46 now off 24 balls. And Mary Taylor on to 27 off 16. So it's been a good day all round, really, for the Taylor family. A couple of wickets for Millie and Mary doing a little bit of damage with the bat. But ultimately, it's going to be a victory for Millie's side, the Bears. 2 balls to go then, 18 required. Hammered back down the ground. Almost taking Izzy's ankles out at the same time, but it's 4 more for the total. 35 now for Mary Taylor. 165 for 6. So, and it's a 50 partnership between these two off 35 balls for the 7th wicket for the Hawks. And they've batted very well. It's been in vain. It's ended up with a probably tighter finish than we anticipated, really, in the grand scheme of things, due to this excellent bit of batting at the end of the innings from Norgrave, and particularly Mary Taylor. So here's the final ball from Izzy Wong then. 14 required off it. Just needs to be straight, really. And there it is. It's a dot ball. In fact, it's going to be a run out. And they'll finish on 165 for 7. And it means victory by 13 runs for the Bears. Courtesy of some excellent batting throughout the innings, particularly from Meg Austin at the top, and then contributions from Callis and Rafe and Perrin throughout, guiding them to a really competitive total of 178. And the Hawks have finished 13 shy here. Wickets for Davis and Taylor in particular, Baker making a contribution too, and Phoebe Graham on debut as well. And it means the Bears are victorious. Another 4 points in the can for them, as they've won here at EdgBLASTon by 13 runs.
The local derby is coming to EdgBLASTon, with Bears women taking on their Midlands rivals.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
was going to say, yeah, you changed the shot earlier, didn't you? Ooh. Oh, okay, cool. So it's a 13-run victory for the Bears then. Another win. It's the 4th of the campaign, cementing that position in 3rd place, of course, despite that little knock at the end from Mary Taylor. 165 for 7 the Hawks finish on, so 13 shy of the Bears total today. And Chloe, again, every victory is important, but at the start of a really big week with these 3 games coming up, to get off to the perfect start is crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This first one of hopefully 3, but that momentum at home will hopefully take us into the break in a really good position.
Yeah, you would hope so. Essex coming up, of course, on Wednesday. That's an 11:30 start here. The stream should be on air from around about 10 past 11 on Wednesday. And then it's the Blaze from 3 o'clock on Friday. Again, we'll be on air with a stream from 20 to 3. And, of course, after that, it's the men's team taking on Worcestershire as well. Tickets available for both of those days if you want to come down and watch some cricket this week, if you've got time. If not, we'd love to have your company on the stream. Let's have a look at then some of the highlights from today. And in particular, this Bears victory, to see how they've gone about it. If you've just joined us and you've missed some of those key moments for you, we're going to roll through them now, particularly of that second innings, of course. And Phoebe Graham was first up in terms of taking wickets. I think finding the edge there. Didn't seem to be too happy about that wicket and that decision at that time. It was Knott that was on her way. Caught off the bowling of Graham. First wicket for the Bears, on loan, of course, from Lancashire, and it set things on the way. Not on the way with the score on 20. We then saw Bouchier just try and continue where she'd left off, because she started really well today. 21 in total she managed from 14 deliveries, but it was the skipper doing her business as per usual. Georgia Davis, the catch from Callis as well. Just been a change in position, and it worked wonders. Bouchier was on her way with a score on 35. So it was 35 for 2. Simple enough catch. And the captain, as ever, making a mark. Phoebe Graham did get sent a couple of times. That was a brilliant bit of fielding from Candice Paverley. Very impressed. Her gymnastic background really kicking in nicely there. Hannah Baker, that was again a genius piece of work in the field. Candice Paverley with the catch. Baker getting herself a wicket. Well deserved to go with a strike rate of 400 from the first innings.
Pretty good day out for Hannah Baker, hey?
Yeah, you're not going to hear the end of that, are you? Freya Kemp looked dangerous. She made a good contribution. However, again, that came to an end with that catch by Paverley. Wasn't too far away on that run out, I think, as well, from Georgia.
Yeah, that was a big wicket though, seeing the back of their captain.
Picked out Laura Harris off the bowling again of Georgia Davis. That was Southby, who just started to get going. She was 29 from 21 and picked out the fielder quite excellently. Again, well positioned, and wickets kept tumbling, didn't they? I mean, that was the thing, wasn't it? Wickets did keep falling. Runs were absolutely at a premium as well, because they were squeezing well.
Yeah, I think they really struggled to just form those partnerships.
Yeah, Southby was on the way. And then Millie Taylor doing the job of getting rid of Georgia Adams at that point. And Millie Taylor striking nicely. Key wicket that when Adams departed, really, wasn't it? Because at that point she just started to look settled and she built quite a good foundation.
Yeah, I think they were really relying on a captain's knock for Hampshire Hawks to see them through, but that saw the end of Georgia Adams and a big over for Millie Taylor.
It was 2 wickets in it in total. Stumping from Nat Wraith, of course, for Georgia Adams, and it was same again, really, wasn't it? A few balls later, when once more Millie Taylor and Wraith combined quite nicely to get a stumping. And it was the advancing Datani who was on her way. Didn't really trouble the scorers today, just 3 from the 8 deliveries she faced, but a second wicket in the over, and quite telling in the end. Millie Taylor striking. And it happened in the Bears innings as well, didn't it, with those 3 wickets in 1 over here. The 2 from Millie Taylor kind of just took all the momentum away from the Hawks at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it made it a very difficult challenge in the end. And a good day for the Taylor family. Twin Mary for the Hawks getting some runs, but 2 wickets there for Millie in particular. So everyone's been voting for their Virtue Player of the Match, and no surprise really that joining us after a terrific knock at the top of the order, 51 from 38 balls, 7 fours as well. Meg Austin, well done.
Hi, thank you.
How was that for you today?
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it really.
Yeah? I was going to say, you seem to be striking the ball very, very cleanly.
Yeah, I think just the backing from the coach and the team to go in and just try and go after the power play, it just gives you a chance to just go in and play your game, really.
It was interesting watching you and Dav bat. Chloe and I were saying, you've come through the ranks together, so you're able to show that because you were rattling along in fours. Here's a chance to have a look at it on our. You have a look at down our screen there. You'll be able to see this moment again. Early on, of course, you were cutting for fun. you were boundary after boundary, particularly off of Gibb, who obviously took those 3 wickets, but you took it to the cleaners early on to the boundary. And there's that moment. You complete the 2. What were you feeling at that time?
Just relief, really.
Yeah. And you and Dav were running quite hard at the start.
Yeah, oh gosh, it was blowing.
Yeah, I was going to say, but you actually seem to instigate that some of the time. There are a couple of moments when we've seen Dav batting with others before. She seems to be the one that's always kind of really pushing for the 2. But we noticed that on a few occasions it was you who were running to the danger end and you were like, hell, let's just go.
Yeah, no, I think, especially with batting with Dav, you need to be ready to just run. So that's kind of what I go in batting and try and take. We call them green light runs, don't we, Brew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the green light running.
Yeah.
Oh, the green light running.
Yeah.
I like that. And in terms of the group, I mean, that's it's a big week coming up this week, isn't it? Obviously, the game today, Essex coming up in midweek, and then the Blaze on Friday. In terms of setting you up with that platform for when you come back for the second half of the campaign, it is a huge week, and this is the perfect start, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. It just gives us lots of confidence going into the rest of next week, and then obviously when we come back after the break.
You got some helpful contributions in the batting today as well from the experience of Callis, obviously Davies, and Nat Wraith seems to be in the form of her life at the minute.
Yeah, I know.
It's another red inker. She didn't quite make it to 50 today.
Yeah.
But you have such depth, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's what, like going in and going after the power play, it gives you confidence because you know that other people coming after you are in really good form and good players.
And finally from us, because you need to get back to your teammates, I think you've probably got some autographs to sign and stuff. What are you looking to achieve? You've come in 2 games, a nice breezy 22 to start with, an excellent 50 today. Is this just about establishing your place at the top of that order?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And just hoping the team can back me to go and keep going and making more match-winning contributions.
And today, home ground, a 50. Doesn't get much better, really, does it? Did you have family here today as well?
Yeah, my mum, my sister and my dad and brother. So,
was your dad one of the flag bearers?
He was, yes, he was.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So he was given the Guard of Honour too?
Yeah.
So a perfect Father's Day for him too?
Yeah, that's my present. I don't have to buy one now. Perfect.
Well, you just give him that bottle you picked up for the Virtue Player of the Match, isn't it?
Yeah.
Terrific stuff today. We thought you batted brilliantly. You
Thank
sound
you.
like you were middling absolutely everything. So it's a fantastic 50.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Bears women's team because you seem to cemented your place at the top and we're really chuffed for you.
Thank you.
Meg, our guest today, just fantastic knock. Chloe, quick word from you about that innings from Meg today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really proud moment to see how you've worked over winter and to put it all on the pitch and kind of be yourself. I was really chuffed for you.
Thank you.
And have you forgiven her for outing you about Love Island? Yeah, okay, that's done. Fair enough. Listen, thank you for your company today on Bears TE. Thanks to Chloe. Thanks to Meg for popping up so soon after the game ended. We'll be back on Wednesday with a live stream for you from about 11:10. It's 11:30 start against Essex. If you can't make that one, don't forget Friday. It's the big one. Blaze at 3 o'clock, followed by the men playing Worcester in the evening. Don't forget you can subscribe and get us so you never miss any of Bears TV. Thanks for your company today.